on 7200 Montgomery Boulevard. Serves breakfast all day long along with classic hot and cold subs. Don't forget about our shakes, malts and floats made with your favorite Blue Bell ice cream. 45 years and still going strong. Come on down to the Yeller Sub, official sandwich of ProView Networks.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
The Yeller Sub, located on 7200 Montgomery Boulevard, serves breakfast all day long along with classic hot and cold subs. Don't forget about our shakes, malts and floats made with your favorite Blue Bell ice cream. 45 years and still going strong. Come on down to the Yeller Sub, official sandwich of ProView Networks.
That's right here for the St. Louis Cougars. That one is denied.
Unforced error. Here comes the game. And Oscillion makes up for the mistake.
Entirely new crew out here. Next time we get a whistle, Adams scores again. Adams gets the foot back and he puts it right back again.
For the layup, another dime from...
Pretty much what you wanted it to be, wasn't it? Sunday afternoon in the pit, top two teams, Mountain West Conference. Place was electric. You get a game that goes down. I mean, maybe you wanted a blowout, I don't know. But maybe you wanted a game that goes down to the wire. I don't know if I consider that one of the great all-time pit games, but certainly one of the great atmospheres that you've had in a while, and it came down to the end. Donovan Dent with a block shot after hitting a three, after True Washington hitting a three. Two guys go down, and you find a way to beat Utah State to take a commanding 2-game lead in the Mountain West Conference through the Lobos with 5 games left on the regular season schedule, a sweep of the UTAGs, and a big, big, big celebration in University Arena. Good morning, boys and girls. Happy President's Day. Hope you get the day off, and even, well, if you do or if you don't, thank you for being with us. Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal. How you living?
What's up?
A good weekend for you?
Yes.
I mean, look, I don't know that I think yesterday's game was like one of the most magical games. I would argue that the Nevada game was more of a pit game than this, but this meant so much. It meant I told you last week. I think you win this game, you're going to win the regular season title. You're 2 up with 5 to go, and you've got the tiebreaker. So really, you're 3 up with 5 to go. 2 tough ones this week. You got to go to Boise and San Diego. JJ, I thought the atmosphere was on fire, and I don't know if it was at 2:00. Everybody was caffeinated and instead of boozed up or tired from a day of work at 8:00 at night and on a Thursday or a Wednesday or 2, whatever the hell. All I know is, man, that place was as fire, and we've been saying this a lot, and I know we talk about the building, and we're going to get into Utah State fans' discrepancy with the fouls, and the numbers are there, but we'll get into that. I thought the building was as just pumped as I've seen it in a while.
And to me, that's what makes it a Pitt game,
Okay.
because that was the loudest that building's been all season.
Yeah.
Now, you could say, all right, well, the Strikeout game, the Aztecs, like there was.
The Nevada game to me was the insane one. The
This one meant
1,000th game, Alfred there, winning at the buzzer.
overtime, winning at the buzzer, but this meant more.
Yeah.
Like,
well, I know this meant more.
At this stage in the season, Utah State being the better team. I know Steve Alford's not on the sideline, but early wasn't early enough. When you got to the Pit yesterday, it had that kind of environment, and the game matched up to it. You had the Lobos down, had to come back, make plays. How quickly Utah State can flip a game with the 3-point shots as they did down the stretch, and like, oh my goodness,
7 points, and then all of a sudden, boom, it was tied.
Yeah, you're looking at it going, oh man, what a rally by the Lobos. They're in control of this game, and you're like, wait a second, this is a 80-79 game, and then you got to go hit some free throws, and then Dent blocks the half court heave at the very end. It was phenomenal. Plenty to break down, but that building was on fire yesterday.
Yeah, it was special. It really was. If you were there, you got it. If you watched it, you probably got it through your TV. It was really something. And what's happened over the years, and look, I don't know, I don't want to look past this season. Enjoy the next 3, 4, 5, however many weeks you got left to this thing, because it is special. But we've talked about it, and it's back. Couple of things. All right. So Mustafa Amsil was out. He's got the plantar fasciitis. He was in a boot. JJ, that's not a good look, and I don't know how long that's going to be. And you might be down your dude for, I don't know, an extended length of time. I thought Jovan Milicevic has played really, really well in his stead. Milicevic put in 36 and a half minutes out of 40 minutes last night or yesterday afternoon. He had 7 rebounds. He had 5 points. It felt like he had a bigger presence than that. But I think he played well. And then CJ Nolan goes down, gets hit in the head, and he's not available for you. Plays less than 7 minutes. True Washington was that dude yesterday, and he is going to be with us at 8:30 this morning. Looking forward to having a conversation with True Washington, who had 25 points yesterday, to go with 5 rebounds, 4 assists, and 4 steals, and playing 35, almost 36 minutes of the game. He hit a big 3. He hit big shots. He got to the lane. He plays defense. He was 4 of 8 from 3-pointers. Like, dude has just come on. I've said this all year. I think he's a difference maker because what he does defensively, the dog that he is on the perimeter, the way he hounds the basketball, the emotion that he brings, and it feels like in the last, I don't know, JJ, week and a half, 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks, he's become more comfortable. Does that make sense? Like just come into his own and realize, and I don't know what's going on in his head or anything like that. I'm looking forward to having a conversation with him, but just feels like he is felt different, looked different. There's a different swagger to him.
He's definitely found another level. I think people would be surprised how consistent he's been offensively.
Yeah. What is it, 16 times in double digits?
And they're 16-0.
Yeah.
That's more than just 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Now, I know what you're referencing in terms of the ability to be confident and step up as pretty much the number 3 for the team. But he's been that all year long. And as much as we've been questioning who else is going to score, True Washington has been doing it all season long. And he just had his Donovan Dent moment last night. And he was able to showcase his skills. Because guess what? He hasn't had to do it because Donovan Dent's done it at the end of games all year long. Donovan was tired last night. Rich Pitino said it. Not only were they blitzing him a lot, even in that zone, sending multiple defenders at Donovan, so they knew that there was other plays there, dude didn't come off the floor for 40 minutes. So it allowed True Washington to show, hey, I can get inside, I can score, and I can hit a big-time bucket.
Yeah, typically you'll see a Cade Dotson 4-minute line, and Cade Dotson didn't play at all. He didn't take Donnie off the floor. But I'll tell you this, as tired as Donovan Dent was, that 3 that he hit off that right wing late in the game was a gigantic 3, and it's one of those. And it's funny. I found myself at the time like you we were sitting way upstairs yesterday, and it is a different view. I'll give like it's almost like watching coaches tape up there, but it's like you watch the whole thing develop, and it was like boom, hit it, True, boom, hit it, Donnie, right? Like you saw the play develop. I think Audra was talking to me at some point during the play, and it was like she's like, what? Oh, yeah, there's a game going on, right? That kind of thing. Boom. He hit big shots. I mean, that's Cement's player of the year to me. If there was a doubt in your mind, Nelly Jr. Joseph or Ian Martinez or Nick Clifford or whomever else you might have wanted to throw out as a candidate for player of the year in the biggest game of the year, in a game in mid-February of the top two teams in your league on a Sunday afternoon national television game, and Donovan plays 40 minutes. Yeah, he had some turnovers yesterday, but for him to put up a stat line of 23 points and it take over the game, and I thought he got a little loose going through the lane late in the game, right? And as Richard said, they were pressuring him and all over him because they were expecting that. Boy, he hits the big shot. But to me, the difference was true, and he was every bit of that yesterday. Huge win, huge win.
Yeah, it's the way Donovan has played all season. He has 23 points in a game, 8 of 12 from the field, and you're like, well, might have been a little bit off. I think early it was the Utah State zone slowed down the Lobos, kept them out of the lane. You saw some of those bumpy moments, and might have been tired, but man, for him, you said still make the plays throughout the second half, hit that three, which put them up, 72-66 at the time, and you really the building erupted. You really felt like, oh my goodness, what a comeback! And then to have to still go finish it out, it's a credit to this team because they were without pretty much two starters. But CJ Nolan,
two guys who give you a lot of minutes,
sixth man of the year candidate, Stoff on the bench, and
last year's sixth man of the year.
Yeah.
And CJ gives you. I mean, you always talk about who's in at the end of the game, right? And CJ Nolan's on the floor typically at the end of games, and you're down basically two of your seven, right? Two of your seven rotationals. And so Milicevic comes in and gives you a lot of minutes, and then you didn't get a bunch of minutes off the bench. I mean, after Nolan, Atiki gave you 8 minutes. Applehans, I thought, gave you a nice 6 minutes, and you got 45 seconds from Sacco, and that was it. The bench is getting shorter. All right, we got a lot for you today. I mean, a ton. 505-246-0610. Let's go. That was something at the pit last night, and then all the former Lobo legends who were in the building that were lined up at halftime, like 50 of them that you got to see that were out there, and they were in the building, and the uniforms were fire. Like let me give you this: the uniform game for the Lobos this year has been spectacular. All of their alternates, the yellows have been great, the turquoises are insane, and they should wear those throwbacks again.
They're very, very good.
They were awesome. And they're in first place. And they are poised to cut down the net. Hell, dude, if they sweep this weekend, right, they can cut them down in San Diego. I
don't think they'd handle the ladders.
Can you get a ladder? Can you bring your own ladder and cut them down at Viejas? I mean, can you cut down nets? Probably not. You got to wait till you get home. But if you sweep this weekend, you're up at least 2 with 3 to go, and you have the tiebreakers. You win. Maybe you wait till you get home and you do it where it's all no ties. What am I looking to say? You win it outright? That's what I'm looking to say. All right.
I don't think there's any net cutting down on the road.
You can't do that? You can't? I didn't think so. Let's hear from you. I want your thoughts on the Lobos yesterday. We'll get into the NBA All-Star Game, the Four Nations hockey. Who won All-Star Weekend, hockey or the NBA? Aaron Rodgers pleaded with the Jets to stay there. And boy, did you have a Snickers moment at a retirement ceremony this weekend at college basketball. We got a ton to do. True Washington, Lobo guard, scheduled to be with us at 8:30 this morning. Really looking forward to having that conversation. Opening drive on President's Day. Let's go. It's up to you at 505-246-0610. It is the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Hi, my name is Ruben, and I'm with the New Mexico Educational Assistance Foundation. We are proud sponsors of high school and college sports. Either college or trade, we can help you find the funding you need. Go to nmfafsa.org. That's nmfafsa.org.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gallus Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66. Built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
Hi, my name is Ruben, and I'm with the New Mexico Educational Assistance Foundation. We are proud sponsors of high school and college sports. Either college or trade, we can help you find the funding you need. Go to nmfafsa.org. That's nmfafsa.org.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people. The day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe in heroes. That's why you remember and collect their memorabilia. All in Autographs, where you can meet some of the greats, collect some of the greats, and share your own legacy. Visit All In Autographs, where you can celebrate the great and have your own piece of history.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. For over 4 decades, our law firm has remained steadfast in our commitment to serving the remarkable people of New Mexico that have been injured through no fault of their own. I'm a New Mexican fighting for New Mexicans. I received my bachelor's degree at NMSU and earned my law degree at UNM. I can proudly say I'm both an Aggie and a Lobo. Call now and I will meet with you. 40 years strong, and we're still as local as red and green.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
The Pit, 82-79, New Mexico beats Utah State. He is New Mexico True. True Washington's going to be with us coming up at 8:30. I'm going to ask him, has he been approached by New Mexico Tourism Department to do some sort of NIL commercial? I mean, he is New Mexico True, right? That's the tourism slow. It's a great campaign, New Mexico True. He had 25 points to lead the Lobos. What Patino said in the post game, he said he had 28. The stat sheet says 25.
Yeah, they corrected it after the game
to 28 or 25.
25.
Yeah, it's good. I mean,
The initial one had him at like 27.
Okay. So they went back and played with it. All right, 505-246-0610. Let's hear what you got to say. JD, get us started. You're up first on the Sports Animal. Good morning, JD. How you living?
Man, I'm good. I've got to eat a little crow because I didn't think they would get it done yesterday.
Eat.
They showed a mental fortitude and a toughness that I didn't really think that they had. And especially when Nolan went down, I didn't think you'd get 63 points from True and Dent and Nelly. And Borovochinen had 11, and he hasn't been scoring at all. So I was really, really impressed. I listened to a lot of the post-game stuff. A lot of it came down to the game plan and the coaching. But this is the first team that really put 3 people on Dent, and he was able to find other people, and they were able to step up. Free throws were huge. Everybody did what they had to do to get it done. So I got to give them props on that. And now you look at possibility of winning out, Jeff. And that's the frustrating thing. If they win out, win their last regular season games, and let's say they win the tournament, this team ends up 30-4, and Jerry Palm is going to say 23 out of 24. You won 16 in a row. And they're saying that there's no way they're going to get higher than a 9 seed.
No, they'll get higher than a 9. No. If they win out, they'll get up to about a 6 seed.
Which is where they should be, right?
If they win out. Now, if they don't, and let's say they split this week, okay, which, they're going to Boise and San Diego. Let's just say they split this week and then win the other ones. They end up, what would that be, JJ? 18-2, and they would be, there's 5 more, so it would be 26-5. Is that right? Yeah, that would be. I think that's right. 26-5 in the regular season, and then let's see what happens in the tournament. But as good as all this is, and we always talk about, it's the body of work, everything counts. You can't discount the 2 bad losses, and those are going to sit there, and you hope UCLA keeps winning the SC loss or when it doesn't look as good, but those things are there. And as good as all this is, and that's why this matters even more, because that is part of your resume.
It is, but I think that they're just putting too much weight on something that happened way back. That's December. That's That's 2 months ago.
Well, but
5 weeks. I mean, that's a long time.
No, I know that. Let me give you this, JD, and I don't want to cut you off because I think you're right, and I think they've gotten better. Was it last year or 2 years ago, JJ, that the Lobos got a better seed, and they kept relying on that win at St. Mary's. Remember that? They beat St. Mary's. And look, we talked about it all the time. Louisville fan, but we got the St. Mary's win. I mean, they all matter. They matter in November. They matter now. So, all right, JD. Appreciate you, man. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, you can't have it both ways.
And Louisville fan has relied on that in the past. We got the St. Mary's, and like literally that year, I want to say it was 2 years ago when they didn't get in. But that's what they were relying on. Then they ended up finishing 6th in the league, and they had no one to blame but themselves that year, right? And I think they went out on Friday night in the tournament, if I'm not mistaken. But they matter, and that's why you love those wins. That's why the UCLA thing is so big. I agree with JD. Do I think they're better now than when they played St. John's or Arizona State? I do. And I'm going to guess a lot of teams are, right? St. John's is probably better now than when they played the Lobos. Don't you think? Have you watched them? A big win by them over Creighton the other night, or yesterday.
They're sitting at 22 in the net. UCLA's 23.
I mean, what do you think? Where do you think? Just he said that's where they should be 6. Where do you think the Lobos should be seated at? What are they? 22-4 and 12-3. That's not right. I'm looking at the wrong numbers. 22-4 and 14-1. I mean, are they a 7 seed to you?
I think if they win out,
so that means so win out all the way to the end. Mm-hmm. So that would be 5 and 8 more. So 8 more, right?
Because if you that would
30
where they are, when you start seeding all these teams, we just saw the top 16 over the weekend.
Yeah,
and that's the first 4 lines.
Yep.
And then so if you go down after that, that would probably place them in that.
All right, realistically, you think they're going to win out?
No.
I don't either. And I'm not sitting here saying, they're going to. I mean, odds tell you, what have they won? 8? I mean, everybody's coming at them. Everybody's playing for their life, too, now. They can win out. I'm not telling you they can't. you figure somewhere along the way they still got to go to Boise, San Diego, and Reno.
Well, mine would be the Aztecs.
Okay, and look, can they score? I watched San Diego State the other night. They handled Boise State now. Boise State looked
I think they'll be favored in Boise.
Yeah.
They should be going to be favored in Reno.
Boise's flat out desperate now.
The Aztecs one is, that was like that line to probably be.
Well, for the Aztecs, they need that because they're literally hovering on the bubble. And that would be a quad 1 win for them, right? Now, I'm gonna tell you straight up, I think New Mexico is better than San Diego State. You throw them on a neutral court, but it's gonna be a tough one on Saturday. But you think that might be the one where they trip? I just somewhere, odds tell you that they get beat somewhere.
Like I'm not expecting them to lose. If you're saying,
no, I'm with you.
Like which game would be the toughest? I think it will be the Aztec game,
or something in Vegas. Yeah, but that's where it is. And to JG's point, look, I agree with you. I think they're way better now than they were in when they played New Mexico State. They lost in San Jose on a month ago, January 14th, I want to say it was. It's a 1-point loss on a putback with 2 seconds. I mean, it sucks, but it's part of the resume. Just like it when Nelly picked up a ball and threw it in at the buzzer at the end of regulation. It's part of the resume. And they all count. 505-246-0610. Mike, good morning. You're on The Sports Animal. Hi, Mike.
Hey, what a game, man. Hey, and along the point of where you guys are talking about tier wins and losses, I thought one of the teams that we lost against just moved up to benefit us. And I'm not sure which, that would have been Air Force Air.
No, it would either be New Mexico State or San Jose State. Let me check it for you.
Or San Jose. I think San Jose moved up. So they moved up tiers. So they had said something on the radio last night about that. So
San Jose State currently is 170, JJ. Is that right on the number, right? Away loss at 170. So that's a quad. Nah, it's still quad 3. It's still quad 3.
Oh, okay. Well, that's what I thought I heard. And then I think it was a great coaching job. I mean, if you look at missing some key players and what the coach had to deal with the injury and, work that bench and kind of keep the players. There was a lot of fouls on the other side, but, they were hacking. Their game plan was to disrupt the shot, and, that's the penalty for that. So, last point is love that uniform. That should be, if we can make the finals in the Mountain West tournament, I think that should be the final uniform to be saved.
Yeah, they were fire, Mike. Appreciate you. So the last I saw New Mexico State, JJ, because they won this weekend, that big win at home over FIU, they moved up to 164, and 160 would be the magic number to get them off of that quad 4 line.
So San Jose State this morning, quad 3, New Mexico State still quad 4 loss.
You got New Mexico State at 164 still?
Yeah.
All right. And so the home number, if New Mexico State could get up to 160, which is 4 spots, that would get you won't have a quad 4 loss. I think that helps. I mean, 2 quad 3s is better than a 3 and a 4, right?
Yes.
So, I mean, whatever that does for you. Keep them coming. Keep them coming. I want to get into the foul thing. I know you all saw on the social media the conversation about fouls and discrepancy in free throws and Utah State fan irate. You would be too. Let me preface it that way if you just looked at the raw numbers. But I want to look at the game. We'll do that next. I want to hear from you at 505-246-0610 on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
This report brought to you by...
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
I might not be in the cage as much anymore. Just like riding a bicycle, I can pick up the fight from where I left off. I'm not some slick-haired outsider posing with borrowed gloves. I grew up here. New Mexico is in my blood. I'm a New Mexican fighting for other New Mexicans. I'm Adam Oki. I'll be your champion in the courtroom.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit HansWhitlerAuto.com. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
Got shots? Got shots? Got shots?
During Got Shots, participating providers open their doors for any child who presents for immunizations, regardless of whether they are a patient or whether they have insurance.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
The Yeller Sub, located on 7200 Montgomery Boulevard, serves breakfast all day long along with classic hot and cold subs. Don't forget about our shakes, malts and floats made with your favorite Blue Bell ice cream. 45 years and still going strong. Come on down to the Yeller Sub, official sandwich of ProView Networks.
I'm a Blaze King customer, and I have been for the last 10 years. Blaze King stoves are very...
Lobos right now are 37 in the net. Utah State's 38. I don't understand Boise State and San Diego State. Boise State's 48, San Diego State's 50. Aztecs just finished a sweep of them. Aztecs beat Houston and Creighton. But Boise State's above San Diego State. Whatever. Sometimes it blows my mind. Here's what you're looking at. Those two bad losses, okay? San Jose State on the road is a quad 3 loss. San Jose State is currently 170 in the net. Away, they'd have to get all the way up to 134, which probably isn't going to happen to make that a quad 2. The New Mexico State loss at home is the one that you're looking at, and that one really hurts. New Mexico State's currently at 160. What'd you tell me? 164, right? for it to be a quad 3 loss, they'd have to get up to 160. So they could climb. They had a big win. They beat FIU, broke a losing streak the other day. The quad 2 stuff is USC and Arizona State. Those neutral games, they're 66 to 65. I know I'm throwing a lot of numbers at you. 505-246-0610. Hey, Steven, thank you for holding here on the Sports Animal. What's up, Steven?
Yeah, I know you guys were going to talk about the foul disparity. And, you know, if you know basketball at all, especially college basketball, you know, the Utah State fans are screaming, well, we play a zone. How can we have that kind of a disparity? Well, when you play a zone against New Mexico, they're going to attack you. And their whole strategy was to hack Dent and to hack Nelly, and their bigs were hacking bad. There's always going to be bad calls, and there were some bad calls, but there were a lot of bad calls on Utah or on New Mexico too. There was some stuff that, man, there were some travels in there that you were like, what are we watching? And those turned into points. So yeah, I understand the number if you look at the numbers, but if you know basketball and you watch basketball, their zone is what caused them to be in foul trouble. It's all about their zone and the way that Patino attacked that zone.
Appreciate you, man. I don't think you're wrong. All right, let me hit you on this since you want to go there, and I know you do. The social media has lost its mind. So you would lose your mind to if, okay? If, and why do I know this, JJ? Because it's happened before. when the Lobos have been on this end of a stat sheet, you've been upset, okay? Personal fouls. There were 29 fouls called against Utah State and 15 called against New Mexico. New Mexico shot 34 free throws, and Utah State shot 16. Okay? So that is just what the numbers tell you. And there's an old cliche that say the numbers don't lie. Okay, but the numbers don't tell the whole story either. And I'm going to preface this by saying there is no rule in the NCAA handbook or NBA or any other rule book anywhere that says the officials must call even amounts of fouls on both teams during a game, correct? Unless they've updated the rule. I've not seen that, right? So there is no rule that the fouls have to be called evenly, right? If one team commits more fouls, then those are to be called. Now, do I think they called a great game? I don't think they called a great game. I think it's a really hard game to call. And I'm not going to lie to you. I watched the game live. I'd like to go back and watch it again, but I watched Saturday Night Live's 50th anniversary instead of watching the Lobo game again last night. I'd already seen it. By the way, which was phenomenal. It was phenomenal. JJ, there were some bad calls. I thought there's some soft fouls against Utah State. But Utah State is a perimeter team that does not drive to the bucket nearly as much as New Mexico. And to the last caller's point, the UNM game plan was to attack the zone, to get to the middle. And Utah State obviously was going to send 2 or 3 dudes at Dent. Donovan Dent drew, how many fouls did he draw? 4 fouls. Nelly drew 8. True Washington drew 5. That was the game plan. Do I think the game was officiated incredibly great? No, not really. Were there some calls that went against Utah State? Yeah, there were. There were some calls that went the other way too. Is that the reason? Does that swing a 3-point game? If you're wearing navy blue and silver, you sure as hell think so. Yeah.
And you look at it too, and I know people have brought up, well, look, Utah State scored in the paint. Well, 18 of those 32 were second chance points.
Yeah.
So they're coming off rebounds. It wasn't necessarily directly because they were attacking the basket. They're still a perimeter-oriented team, and their bigs got in foul trouble early and often, and that's where it started to rack up on them. So, yes, if this was reversed, that's the only thing the Lobo fans would be talking about.
I promise you. We'd have already heard from Rudy. He'd have already been
the difference was fouls. It played a difference in the game, and the Lobos took advantage of it. Now,
okay,
but like midway through the first half, I think that's where it started to swing. Because the first 5 or 6 minutes,
there weren't a lot of fouls.
They were letting them do everything both ways.
Yeah. So when I was just going to ask you a question. You said it swung. It swung. Do you think that was the difference in the game?
For the Lobos, yes.
Do you think it was officiated poorly? Do you think Utah State committed more fouls than New Mexico?
I do. I don't think it was officiated poorly. Like watching that game, once kind of the Lobos got in that rhythm of getting the whistle against Utah State, Like that's kind of what happens in a game, whether it's the perfect game or not. Like at some point, man, this officiating is what it is.
It's hard.
And if we, like every single Mountain West game, people are going to say it's the worst ref game they've ever seen.
I know. And Vern Harris wasn't even in this game. Do you believe the pit crowd or the pit atmosphere played a part of that?
Probably get you a couple whistles.
Yeah, they're human beings, right? Just like I believe it does up in Utah too. I got the stat sheet for the Utah State game when we were up there.
My counter to that too for Utah State fans, even if the free throw disparity helped the Lobos, you still gave up another lead in the second half when New Mexico is down 2 primary minute players on their rotation.
Yeah, 2 of their top 7.
Well, of course, they were able to win that game because look at all the foul shooting.
Would you say 2 of their top 6?
Still were attacking. They didn't stop attacking.
Yeah, they're down their starting small forward and their 6th man. They didn't play. Yeah, I got to go back and look at it way more closely with a fine-tooth comb and watch, the fouls and. But again, there is no rule that says that you need to call the same amount or close to the same amount of fouls.
And you look at who drew the most fouls.
Well, it was Nelly.
Yeah. So what was he doing, right? Means the ball was inside. People are going at him. Ton of contact. And then that once you have Nelly drawing a bunch of those fouls, put you in the bonus, and then in contact, put you at the free throw line.
Let me give you this. Which obvious offshoot of this. We were having a real problem coming out of the Air Force game on free throws. Talking about at some point missed free throws are going to get you. And I guess I keep going back to like when Borovic missed the 3, right? There was a lane violation. Like, holy smokes, what are we doing? But actually they were 27 to 34. They shot almost 80%, 79.4% from the line.
Yeah, the fill up 3 missed free throws. It makes you think he was like 1 of 9 on the line.
I know. He was 1 of 3. I'm sorry, he was 6 of 8. He was 6 of 8. He was 6 of 8. Well, wait, he missed 3 there. Only 2 of them count because it was a lane violation. But it goes back to the other night where him and Milicevic, because there were 2 lane violations, they made 1 out of 5 shots on those 2 free throws. You're like, holy smokes, that's what you remember. But in reality, they made their free throws yesterday. They were 27 to 34, which is 79.4%, which, 3-4 nights earlier against Utah or against Air Force, they were missing them. And we're sitting here saying at some point it's going to come back and beat them. It's going to cost them. And it could have last night if they missed their free throws. But yeah, this is a big point of conversation. If I understand Utah State's fans, did Jared Calhoun say anything about it? I got to find their quote sheet somewhere, and I will during the break because I want to hear what he said. But again, if you watch the game, it was physical, and to me, you penetrate more, you get fouled more as opposed to being out on the perimeter. But they're upset. And look, if it was you, and Lobo fan, you know it. I mean, I'm not bagging on you. I think any fan base, but we've been here. I've hosted the show for 16 and a half years. JJ, there's been stat sheets that were stacked the other way on this, and Lobo fan came in and absolutely lost their mind at the discrepancy in fouls. I mean, you got called for, or Utah State got called for 14 more fouls than you did. 29 to 15 is a big discrepancy. Now, again, I'm not telling you got to even it out. You don't. But if you were in their shoes, you'd be pissed off too. Now, do they have a right to be? That's a whole nother story. Big win for your team. 505-246-0610. Want to hear from you. True Washington's going to be with us live coming up at 8:30 this morning. Looking forward to having a conversation with him. And get into the other stuff from this weekend. Who won All-Star Weekend, NBA or the NHL? I think it's a pretty easy answer. Hey, John Thomas Jeweler's my jeweler. Valentine's Day's come and gone, so the big special is over, but it's not really because the place is still really, really, really special. They've got over 3,000 ladies and men's bridal rings on hand for you to try on. So if you're thinking about making that move, pop the question. There is no other place to go. And if they don't have what you're looking for, or you don't even know what you're looking for, they'll walk you through the process. You can watch things being made. They've got a beautiful, custom, state-of-the-art design center right there in the store. They will make anything you can dream of. They don't have to send it out to L.A. or Dallas or anything. So whether you're looking for an engagement ring or an anniversary gift or just a beautiful gift, they've got everything you'll ever want at John Thomas Jewelers. You got to stop in and see them. They're the only 5-star Google-rated full-service jewelry store in town. Fastest-growing jeweler in New Mexico for 3 straight years. Best jeweler in Albuquerque, voted for 4 straight years. Even voted America's coolest jewelry store by In-Store Magazine. There's so many reasons to see why they're my jeweler, and they'll be yours. John Thomas Jewelers is the best. On Louisiana, 1 block south of Banal, 3rd floor of the Lewis University building. It's 2440 Louisiana Northeast, Suite 310. You can see them online at johnthomasjewelers.com.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Hi, my name is Ruben, and I'm with the New Mexico Educational Assistance Foundation. We are proud sponsors of high school and college sports. Either college or trade, we can help you find the funding you need. Go to nmfafsa.org. That's nmfafsa.org.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. For over 4 decades, our law firm has remained steadfast in our commitment to serving the remarkable people of New Mexico that have been injured through no fault of their own. I'm a New Mexican fighting for New Mexicans. I received my bachelor's degree at NMSU and earned my law degree at UNM. I can proudly say I'm both an Aggie and a Lobo. Call now and I will meet with you. 40 years strong, and we're still as local as red and green.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gallus Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66. Built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people. The day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe in heroes. That's why you remember and collect their memorabilia. All in Autographs, where you can meet some of the greats, collect some of the greats, and share your own legacy. Visit All In Autographs, where you can celebrate the great and have your own piece of history.
TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sport shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. TurboThreads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for TurboThreads.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. ProView Networks.
So I don't see a lot of complaining from Jared Calhoun, the Utah State coach. The Cache Valley News said head coach Jared Calhoun, Utah State's coach, gave 3 simple reasons for the loss: Donovan Dent, Nelly Jr. Joseph, and foul discrepancy. The foul discrepancy, again, 29-15. But Calhoun said, quote, "It's a great luxury to have the best point guard and the best 5-man in the league. There's a reason Donovan Dent will probably be player of the year in the conference. He made big play after big play," which appreciate. I mean, and then he was talking about the foul discrepancy in the HJ News. That's the, what is that? HJ. Anyway, he said they shot 34 free throws. We shot 16. That's a big number. We were just battling the fouls. We couldn't run our normal stuff and got out of whack a lot throughout this game. It's tough to overcome when all your guys are in foul trouble. I give our guys a ton of credit. I thought Isaac Davis and all those guys battled. It's really hard when you have a lot of mismatched lineups. It was a no-rhythm type of game. We had to bounce things through the game, and it's tough, end quote. I mean, I don't hear him whining. Do you? Yeah, when you're in foul trouble, it's tough.
Yeah, you have to acknowledge it. For Utah State, it was a no-rhythm type of game. Yeah. The amount of players in and out, and the fact that they still made it a game late shows just how good they are.
Yep. All right. Text line. This is from John at 505-246-0610. Happy President's Day, fellas. OMG, was that a game at the Pit? Nothing short of just an impressive display of what the UNM Lobos are all about, or what? Donovan Dent was awesome as usual, 82-79 over Utah State. So good. Way more exciting than the Daytona 500 and all the rain delays and crashes even. Great win for UNM. I'm stoked. Thanks, fellas. All right. That's from John. This one says Colorado State moved up in the net. Yeah, they moved up to 70, if I'm not mistaken, and they need to stay there. Keep that as a quad. Well, the road win would stay as a quad 1, and that would keep they need to stay above 75 to keep the road win a quad 1 and the home win a quad 2 for Colorado State. Mud says Lobos will beat the remaining teams in the regular season. The Lobos are playing on a different level. The tournament is a different beast, but I believe the Lobos are a different beast. Go Lobos. And this one says, I do not know if the Lobos win that game if played on a neutral court. The Pit crowd was a big factor. True, Washington was huge for the Lobos with Noland out. True has improved his outside shooting. Fair? I don't know either. But it wasn't on a neutral court. Right? I mean,
and they also won on a non-neutral court in Logan.
Well, they went up there and beat the tar out of them up there. I mean, they beat them by 19. Like that was just a smackdown up there. They were down 36-30 at halftime and outscored them by 25 points in the second half. Yeah. They went up there and took care of business up there. So, look, the foul discrepancy is going to be something that they'll talk about up there. All I know is you hit big shots. You're down. You're starting 3. You're starting 4. And then you're down your 6th man. And you're playing the other best team in the league. They're coming. Yeah, they got in foul trouble. But you found a way to do it. And I think it's a good, gutsy, big win. It's a character win. It's I'll tell you this, it's got this fan base fired up. I was walking out, and there was a family next to us, and they're like, we got to get our tickets. I don't know. Like, sometimes they play on that first game on Wednesday. I said, no, they're not going to, talk about Vegas. And I was just, I overheard him. I'm like, yeah, I think they're out of that Wednesday game. Okay, so they won't play till Thursday? Oh, we got to get our tickets, and we're going to go. We're so, families are so excited. People are so fired up about Lobo basketball. And I'm not going to sit here and tell you it's like the old days because, for some of you it'll never be, and I get that. How about if it's like the new days, and it's really, really cool? And the energy that was in the Pit, the lore that was in the Pit, to have all of those former Lobo greats in the Pit last night or yesterday in those uniforms and to win a game that, like I said, doesn't mathematically clinch you the regular season conference championship, but is ultimately going to win you the conference championship, I do believe. Man, let it be like the new days. How about that? It's like now. and enjoy the hell out of it. And people, what's going to happen with Pitino next year? Is Dent going to be here? I don't know, man. Enjoy the next month. I don't know who's going to be here next year. It's today's college basketball, right? They might be here. They might not be here. Read what you read or don't read what you read on social media. But
that stuff can all be talked about after March. Honestly, that is straight one that has it's there, but it makes no sense to have that conversation.
No, but I'm reading it. It's like, man, just enjoy it.
Yeah, just live in the moment. This is what. There's a reason that you like sports, right? There's a reason that you want to keep doing this, so you better enjoy these moments.
You
because
yearn for these.
Yeah. There's only one team that can feel awesome at the end of the year if they win a championship.
Yeah,
everyone else goes home with a loss.
Yeah, yeah. These are the moments that you do this for, right? And hopefully you go deep and make your run and do whatever you want to do. But all I know is it's fun, and winning's fun, and walking around that pit yesterday with people smiling, and the place was packed. It's what athletics does. It just reminds you why you love sports and why you love athletics and why you do what you do. And it's like, look, Aggie fan, you get it when you were going to bowl games, right? When you were playing in the Conference USA Football Championship, and it wasn't long ago where you guys were in the NCAA tournament and winning games, right? It's just fun. So enjoy it. We'll keep them coming. 505-246-0610. True Washington's going to be with us coming up at 8:30. Looking forward to talking to the Lobo Guard. Happy President's Day. Thanks for being with us, Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck. It is the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people. The day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe in heroes. That's why you remember and collect their memorabilia. All in Autographs, where you can meet some of the greats, collect some of the greats, and share your own legacy. Visit All In Autographs, where you can celebrate the great and have your own piece of history.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
The Yeller Sub, located on 7200 Montgomery Boulevard, serves breakfast all day long along with classic hot and cold subs. Don't forget about our shakes, malts and floats made with your favorite Blue Bell ice cream. 45 years and still going strong. Come on down to the Yeller Sub, official sandwich of ProView Networks.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque.
And AM 610, the sports animal. Here's Jeff Zimbietta and JJ Buck.
What a weekend, huh? I mean, maybe you got whatever you wanted, man. You got the Genesis if you wanted to watch the golf. That was down at Torrey Pines. You got the hoops. You had an all-star game. You got the hockey, the Four Nations. You got Daytona 500. Whatever it is you wanted. Baseball. Little baseball went 2-1 this weekend. Open up the season in Arizona. They'll play the University of Arizona tomorrow down in Tucson, but a 2-1 start for Todd Brown's team. He was on with us on Thursday. Whatever it is you wanted, you got, and then you got Lobo basketball. Oh, and you wanted to win. And maybe you wanted a great game and a great atmosphere at the Pit, and you got that too. 82-79, New Mexico over Utah State in a sold-out, fanatical University arena on a Sunday afternoon. UNM puts a stranglehold, I think. And again, I'm not looking to jinx anything, and they didn't mathematically win it. But I do believe that's going to be the precursor to them winning the regular season championship. They've got a 2-game lead with 5 to go, and they've got the tiebreaker over the teams behind them. And then they got a lot in front of them. You got a big week now. A big week. You're going on the road in Boise. You go to San Diego. JJ, an opportunity for a couple of quad 1-ies. And to secure yourself in the tournament, and if you do it without your starting 4-man, you start and your 6-man goes down, and you're still able to beat a really good team at home and have clutch wins, or clutch buckets. And True Washington, who had 25 points, going to be with us coming up at 8:30.
Another huge second half, and it just shows this Lobo team. They can play multiple ways. They can win multiple ways. To be in a game like that without 2 key players, shows the level this team is. And I think we've seen 2 teams separate themselves, New Mexico and Utah State. I know I'm not as down on the Aztecs as everyone else. I know their ceiling is national championship, but that's a team that's found a way to compete. And the Aztecs still 10-4 in the Mountain West Conference. But you've seen them play these teams. You've seen them get these wins. And now, as Rich Pitino said it after the game, it should be easy for the Lobos to refocus because they have to hit the road and to go to Boise and San Diego up next.
All right, let's go. Rudy, thanks for holding. You're on the Sports Animal. Good day, sir. Rudy.
Wow. That was quite the weekend. Like I said last week, there's very few places where the crowd can affect the game so much, and it did. But on the other side of the coin, those were all fouls. And I don't know if Calhoun's strategy was foul them, and if they don't call it, it's to our benefit or not. But it sure seemed like that was their game plan, to just hack and foul and really try to disrupt UNM's offense, because they saw what happened when they didn't do that up in Logan. They got blown away. So they had no answer for Nelly Jr. Joseph except to foul him and push and shove, and it was really rough. I hope C.J. Nolan's okay. I don't know how the refs can review that and not see the contact to the head, but they missed it, and I guess they just said it was contact to the chest. And those were 2 vicious bumps So I think that was Utah State's plan. We're going to be more physical, and when you're more physical, you get called for more fouls if you're not careful. Meanwhile, I thought UNM played really clean defense, and that's why the foul count was the way it was. And then you get into the second half of the game, and it was just one big shot after another. I'm sitting there cheering, for Dent's three, and I didn't even see the three that went down on the other side. It happened so fast. And that's Utah
false slip
State.
came back quick. Yeah.
Paul said hits a three, and I'm like, what happened? We're calling timeout and getting the ball in, and I just thought it was a tremendous effort, and True Washington stepping forward and demonstrating why he was a top 50 recruit. People said he was a top 50 recruit. Yeah, I think he's the highest rated recruit we've had here in a long time, and he's showing it. He's got game, and he's blossoming, and he's the defensive leader now, and I think they have a really good shot at. Let's just do it one game at a time. The next game is Boise, but why not? Boise looked kind of in disarray against San Diego State. I'm sure you watched that game, Jeff.
Yeah, I thought the Aztecs dominated. I thought they completely took them out of what they do. And San Diego State did it defensively. And I'm going to tell you this, and you guys tell me if you think I'm nuts. I know San Diego State's got the reputation of being the best defensive team in the league, and they might be. But New Mexico's defense this year has been at times at least as good, if not better, than San Diego State's. And if Boise State was taken out of their game by what San Diego State does, and JJ, you can tell me if I'm high on this, but I think Lobo's defense has been spectacular, and the reason they've been so good.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I think I said it at the beginning of the year. You might go back and check, but after the first game, I said this team, New Mexico, will go as far as their defense carries them. And I think that's still a true statement.
Yeah.
And my final thought is, it's true. It's true.
Yeah.
Have a great day, guys.
Yeah, see you. It's true. It's true. It's Willie Twoo. It's a Blazing Saddles line, which is a great movie. You catch it if you can. The defense thing is really interesting to me because I watched the Boise State game the other night, and I thought they were flustered. I thought they have 20-something at halftime. I mean, the Aztecs don't score a lot of points. And the Aztecs finally started hitting some shots late. But I thought they completely took Boise State out of what they wanted to do. They had nowhere to go. I mean, this isn't the best Boise State team we've seen in a while, and they were picked, second?
Yeah.
Who was picked to win it?
Or were they picked first?
I don't even remember what the polls were anymore.
Yeah, but that's why.
They might have been picked to win it, right?
Yeah, and then you get in the season and you dry test. And that's one of my things. Don't let preseason polls dictate your opinion of a team once you get into the season. Once you've watched them play plenty of basketball, that's when you can figure out. All right, these are who these teams are, or these are the players we didn't know about. And when you're looking at Boise State, I know that they feel really disappointed, but they kind of have only two players that are stepping up. Stegenhart and Cardenas.
Preseason poll. They had 19 of the 2, 4, 6, 7, so 26 votes. Boise State. Preseason poll. Boise State, New Mexico, Nevada, San Diego State, UNLV. How far you want me to go before I say Utah State, for crying out loud? Utah State was 6th. Colorado State was 7th. So, yeah, Boise State was number 1. And then you get to where we are now, right? And you look at the real standings as we sit here, 5 games left to go, and it's New Mexico, Utah State, who was picked, 6th or 7th, San Diego State, Colorado State, Boise State, the team that was picked to win it, is battling for 5th spot and to stay out of the playing game. It's crazy, right? Nevada, who was picked, 3rd, is in 7th place. Patino's going to win Coach of the Year, isn't he?
Yes.
I don't even know where you can go with Jerry Calhoun, I imagine.
Almost make it the Utah State Coach of the Year award.
I guess a first-year guy who's done, and they've come in and done a great job. I mean, I don't want to downplay it all. But if he wins this league and has to play the rest of the way or a significant time without a starting 4 and without Nolan, and I think Nolan, concussion protocol, he may play in Boise. He should play in San Diego.
I think that's at least a week.
You think it's at least a week?
I think it's mandated.
So he won't play either game?
If they deem it a concussion.
Well, then you just say concussion-like
symptoms.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's the semantics on that. I mean, who's your coach of the year? I get the Jared Calhoun thing, and I'm not arguing if he wins it. I won't.
If you run away with the league, and this would be running with. If you sweep Utah State, you finish with wins at Boise State, at San Diego State, and you're coach of the year.
Well, if you win, look, if they sweep this week, first of all,
Coach of the year, player of the year, you get all the awards.
Coach of the year, player of the year, 2 guys on the first team. Yeah. This would be as dominant. I mean, we're getting ahead of ourselves. But if they sweep this week, wow. I mean, we're talking about something really, really special here.
Yeah, but I do think a big question is availability. It's one thing without Amzil, then you can go to Jovan and get those minutes. But without Nolan, then you're really going to be.
Do we see some more Cade Dotson, do you think?
Yeah, Cade Dotson will play, but
I'd like to. And you know how I feel about
Cade
different.
Dotson. Cade Dotson, 4 minutes in a game, knowing you have everyone else, versus 4 minutes and you're not on the floor, CJ or Donovan.
Well, here's the other thing. I thought with no Cade Dotson, I thought True handled the ball more, right? And that would be a place where you can. You know, when he says Donovan Dent's so tired, and he's right for 40 minutes and getting harassed like he is.
Doesn't want to take him off the floor, and I understand it, man.
Yeah, and I get it too. Everybody, like, okay, you don't have to be a highly paid, $1 million plus basketball coach to say, how would you attack New Mexico? Make somebody besides Dent and Joseph beat me, right? And they did last night. I mean, True did. I'm harassing Dent, and that's what San Diego State's going to do. So Boise State, that's what everybody's going to do. They all got scouts, man. Harass him, take the ball away from him.
And it's coach speak, but you say it all the time. Hey, guys have to be ready. We'll find out. Like you're going to have to sneak a few minutes in there. It'll probably be early.
That's fine.
I like Cade Dotson, I'm with you, but there's also a reason he's not playing.
No, I get it. He's a
doesn't
freshman.
Trust him right now.
Sure.
But he's going to have to trust him at least for a few minutes early in the game, because I don't think you can get through this week with no CJ Nolan and you play Donovan.
I agree with that. That's my point. If Nolan can't play, look, he's a freshman. I think he trusts him as a freshman. Milicevic has earned his trust because he's had to play Milicevic minutes, and Milicevic has earned those minutes. He's raised himself over Appelhans, and he's raised himself over a couple other guys, right, to earn those minutes. And now you need him because Amseel's out, and Milicevic is giving you good minutes. Look, the reason Cade's not playing, he's playing behind Donovan freaking Dent. He's playing behind one of the best point guards in America. And I think he knows that, and I hope he knows that. And it's almost... Now, Dent played a lot more as a freshman. And he was playing, I want to say behind, but really more so alongside House and Mash. Right? And there was a way, while it was the Mash and House show, you were realizing, damn, Donovan Dent's really good. Right? I hope Cade Dotson doesn't get frustrated and say, I got to bounce, man. Now, if Donnie comes back, I can see him doing that. Right? And if not, it should be his show. Again, all stuff we can talk about in March going forward, but I like him a lot. All right, 505-246-0610. Keep them coming. We're going to talk with True Washington coming up at 8:30 this morning. Really looking forward to that conversation. A big night for the sophomore guard, as he had 25 points, or I guess daytime yesterday, out at the pit. What are you doing for lunch today? Huh? May I suggest Twin Peaks? Up your lunch game. Twin Peaks should be in your rotation. They've got light but yet hearty combinations that they put together for you, just starting at $7.99. So they've got savory soups and crisp salads and a variety of sandwiches. It'll satisfy your every craving, so enjoy your next lunch over at Twin Peaks. They've got happy hour, and no one does happy hour like Twin Peaks. So whatever you like. They've got everything from tequila cocktails to an extensive bourbon category, top shelf spirits and cocktails served over ice balls, local craft beers, handcrafted whiskey cocktails, all of this rounding out a adventurous drink menu that's second to none. And of course, they've got their 29-degree drafts. Coming up this week, what's today's date? 15? So I guess that's next Monday, 22nd, National Margarita Day. Twin Peaks is your spot. Refreshing margarita specials. Pricing starting at $5. The $5 house margarita. You can indulge in the $6 Peaks margarita. Enjoy the $12 spicy strawberry margarita, or treat yourself to the $9 Twin Peaks Barrel Select margarita. It's all over at Twin Peaks, and don't forget they're hiring. If you're looking for a gig, go over to Twin Peaks. They're looking for Twin Peaks girls, cooks, bussers, barbacks. Text WORK4TP. That's WORK, W-R-K, 4, the number 4, TP, WORK4TP to 85,000, 85000 to apply. See you at Twin Peaks.
This report is sponsored by
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
I might not be in the cage as much anymore. Just like riding a bicycle, I can pick up the fight from where I left off. I'm not some slick-haired outsider posing with borrowed gloves. I grew up here. New Mexico is in my blood. I'm a New Mexican fighting for other New Mexicans. I'm Adam Oki. I'll be your champion in the courtroom.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Hi, my name is Ruben, and I'm with the New Mexico Educational Assistance Foundation. We are proud sponsors of high school and college sports. Either college or trade, we can help you find the funding you need. Go to nmfafsa.org. That's nmfafsa.org.
Got shots? Got shots? Got shots?
During Got Shots, participating providers open their doors for any child who presents for immunizations, regardless of whether they are a patient or whether they have insurance.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people. The day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe in heroes. That's why you remember and collect their memorabilia. All in Autographs, where you can meet some of the greats, collect some of the greats, and share your own legacy. Visit All In Autographs, where you can celebrate the great and have your own piece of history.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gallus Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66. Built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
You can get in on other stuff too. There was a weekend, and what you thought of the NBA All-Star game, or did you watch that hockey? America, by the way, we're gonna drop the mitts and have 3 all out let's goes within the first 9 seconds because we hate you and you hate us? Is that kind of America? And we may get America and Canada again. If Canada can win today, they'll be in the championship game. But America wins in Montreal 3-1 in the Four Nations Cup, which is kind of the NHL All-Star weekend, which is kind of beautiful in its own right. And then they booed the national anthem again, and our 51st state got beat by the whole. How come like California didn't get? Canada gets their own. Should Minnesota get their own team too? I'm kind of somewhat kidding, but our 51st state got.
That's why they wanted to fight.
9 seconds in, let's just drop the mitts, boys. Let's go, eh? You and me, let's go, eh? Yeah, you know how it is. You know how it be. All right, and then so who won the weekend as far as All-Stars to you? The NBA with their 4-team little tournament. Steph Curry was the MVP. They had the Shaq's team and Charles' team and the Futures, and then you had Wemby and Chris Paul's team getting disqualified from the skills competition because they thought they'd cheat the system and not take shots and just beat the time, and they got disqualified. I guess Wemby was and then who won the 3-point contest? Was Tyler Hero?
Well, the Four Nations face-off is a fantastic change where they drop it in there, and you get more intensity, especially with stuff that's going on between the United States and Canada. Like the fact that it's playing out on the ice, and there's that animosity and booing anthems and players fighting each other. Like there's real stuff in there. So that wins it because there's real competition. I like the steps that the NBA took. Because one thing, I'm so tired. I'm tired of hearing people complain about all-star games. Like, it's not supposed to be the most competitive thing ever. Like, it's supposed to be entertaining. Yeah, and they're trying. And they did it for one day. And people are still crying and complaining and not giving me anything other than back in the day they cared. Like, they're trying something. It's going to take time. We say it with everything. Like, let it play out. Don't react to one thing. And do they need to maybe tighten up the format so there's more energy in the game? Yes, but it's an all-star game. At some point in time, you're not getting these guys to play like it's Game 7 of the playoffs. It's an entertainment product. They're trying to tweak it and figure it out. And it's not going to be fixed in one run of this format.
Can I give you this? Mac McClung has saved the dunk contest. You think I'm wrong?
No, he's on a really good run now. He made it first try. I thought Castle had better dunks. But,
did you?
Yeah. Especially with the way he went behind the back.
I just watched the highlights. I didn't see the whole thing. All I know is this. How tall is Mac McClung?
Yeah, the short white guy winning the dunk contest.
6'2" Caucasian that doesn't even play in the NBA. Like he's a G League guy, right? Barely hanging on the G League, right? Who's won 3 in a row? Who's got insane hops? Who his dunks are creative, dude. I didn't think you could be creative. Like the guy on the ladder, let me dunk 2 balls and pull one off a guy in a hoverboard is on my way up and get the other one.
Well, it was a tribute to Aaron Gordon's dunk.
I get it. And then he jumped over the freaking car.
Mm-hmm. He's got hops. Like Castle and McClung put down legitimately entertaining dunks.
Yes. Yeah, and I'm not. Look, whatever. I mean, all I know is I got a 6'2", so that's relatively short. To you and me, that's a pretty good sized dude. But a relatively short Caucasian winning the dunk contest 3 years in a row, who doesn't even play in the damn league, who's $310,000 that he's won winning these dunk contests is more than he's made overall playing in the G League.
Which I like.
Love it.
I love it. Again, it's tiresome hearing the complaints with no solution.
Yeah.
Like it's an all-star game, man. Like show me that even you going back the 90s, early 2000s, like every all-star game that was I'm going to punch you in the face because we're playing basketball. Like,
that's right.
There's an entertainment factor. You want more competition. I think you can get a better competition out of this, but the dudes have to want to play at some point. Like you have to tell them to play because there's still a lot of standing around and not playing in a 40-point game.
All right, you got to give me something. I just watched the McClung jumping over the damn car again. Castles was better than this. Like
Castles had 2 dunks, but he didn't make it on the first try.
He went over the car, picks the ball up, reverse 2-fisted dunk, and jumps over the entire vehicle. Like not like landed on it. Not he leaped over the entire
Not just over
vehicle.
the hood.
No, at the top of the vehicle.
Center of the vehicle. So he did more than Blake Griffin.
I mean, what are we talking about? You tell me what can be. I didn't see the castle.
Well, you should look at the castle dunk.
Yeah, I'm trying to find him. All I know is, dude leaped over. Little man's head is at the rim.
It's not a jumping competition. It's still a dunk competition.
Oh, and he dunked it. He got the ball and dunked it reverse with two hands. Isn't that what it is? And then the dude on the hoverboard with the second ball up there was spectacular. I mean, I just needed highlights. I didn't need to sit around and watch the whole damn thing.
Yes, the dunk contest is about the highlights.
Yeah. It's like a soccer game. I don't need to watch. Show me the highlights because I really enjoy soccer highlights. I just don't need to watch 90 minutes plus extra time to watch one goal. Is that not a fair analogy?
It's your opinion.
It's mine. It is. And I really enjoy soccer highlights. I do. I'm impressed. All right, you know what I enjoy? I enjoyed global basketball. And the guy who was spectacular yesterday was True Washington. We are expecting to speak with him when we return. Conversation with Lobo sophomore guard True Washington next after a big Lobo victory. You're listening to The Opening Drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sport shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. TurboThreads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for TurboThreads.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit HansWhitlerAuto.com.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. For over 4 decades, our law firm has remained steadfast in our commitment to serving the remarkable people of New Mexico that have been injured through no fault of their own. I'm a New Mexican fighting for New Mexicans. I received my bachelor's degree at NMSU and earned my law degree at UNM. I can proudly say I'm both an Aggie and a Lobo. Call now and I will meet with you. 40 years strong, and we're still as local as red and green.
The Yeller Sub, located on 7200 Montgomery Boulevard, serves breakfast all day long along with classic hot and cold subs. Don't forget about our shakes, malts and floats made with your favorite Bluebell ice cream. 45 years and still going strong. Come on down to the Yeller Sub, official sandwich of ProView Networks.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Hi, my name is Ruben, and I'm with the New Mexico Educational Assistance Foundation.
I don't know. Does it get old? I don't think it does. It's special each time. I hope you don't take it for granted. It's the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck. It's one of those things where you look around the place and, I don't know, do you ever, when you're sitting there, do you ever just kind of go, wow, this is really cool? Like you, because you sit in enough arenas where there's not a ton of people, right?
It's very cool every time you're in that building when there's 12,000+ fans and then sell out 15,000+.
Yeah, 15,411 is the sellout number. Efforting True Washington, the sophomore guard who had 25 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, 4 steals yesterday for New Mexico in their 82-79 victory against Utah State, a win that puts New Mexico up 2 in the standings over Utah State, and there's 5 games left to play. And the place was just magical yesterday. You go into big games, and you get big games out of big players, and that's what happened yesterday. The Lobos' sophomore guard, True Washington, was New Mexico True. 25 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, 4 steals. It's the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck, we welcome to the program the guy who was spectacular again yesterday. True Washington joins us this morning. Good morning, True. How you living?
Good morning, man. I'm doing good.
Appreciate you getting up this morning and spending some time with us. Dude, yesterday was fun. Big games bring out the best in big players. You were fantastic, and it feels like over the last, couple weeks, I'll go back to the Utah State game, it just feels like you're playing with a lot more confidence and swagger. Is that fair?
Yeah, that's fair.
Why is that? Where's that? What happened? Did anything happen? You just feel more comfortable? Why are you playing so much better, more confident?
Honestly, the announcer saying that I'm the X factor of the team. When I don't score double digits, we kind of lose. So just being able to step up in that role and be a big part of this team. Every game I go in and just try to play the best as I can so we can get the win.
It is kind of a crazy stat. You've scored double digits 16 times and the team's 16-0 when you've done that. But it's really not just your scoring. I think what you've done spectacularly all season is play defense. Do you enjoy defense? Because it looks like you're a dude who enjoys playing defense.
Yeah, I enjoy playing defense. I like playing defense, especially getting steals, man. I feel like those are like easy points if I get my hands on the steals and get down to the other end of the court and get an easy layup.
Yeah, it's a mindset. Where does that come from? Has that always been part of your game?
Yeah. I mean, when I was younger, I wasn't very good on the offensive side, so I had to get it one way or the other to stay on the court. And it kind of just stuck with me throughout my whole career.
No, True. And this team, y'all kind of buy into that defensive mindset. What is it about this squad that you guys are always in it? And Coach talks about it a lot, the race not being over, but even the moments in a game, you guys are able to stay together. If you're down, you're able to make that comeback. Is it just the chemistry, the confidence? What is it about this team?
I'll say the chemistry. We also got a lot of confidence, but Coach P has a standard for us, and it's high, so we're just trying to reach your standard every time we go on the court.
Yeah, and with that, when you look at what you guys did yesterday, and you see, Amzil wasn't there. CJ goes out. Does that even bring you guys closer together in that moment, knowing what you have to do in that moment?
Oh, yeah. When they go down, we know everybody has to step up another notch. We were talking about it yesterday, how they went down and we still won, and we just feel like we're very dangerous when they're with us.
He's the Lobo sophomore guard, True Washington, with us on the Sports Animal this morning. 82-79, New Mexico beat Utah State yesterday. Teams are focusing on Donovan Dent. And look, man, you don't have to be a genius. If you're scouting New Mexico, you're saying, all right, make somebody else beat us. Has that played into your game plan, both as a team and really individually, right? You know everybody's trying to take the ball away from Donnie. He's getting double teamed, sometimes triple teamed, and there's a guy wearing number 3 named True Washington who really can take advantage of it, and you have.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, all the teams are scouting on Donnie, so I just got to be ready, you know what I'm saying? So Donnie getting triple team, double team, there's obviously another guy's open on the court. And that guy had to be me yesterday, and I stepped up in a big moment and knocked the shot down.
Yeah, talk about that shot, that dagger shot, because that was big and the place went freaking nuts.
Man, I seen Donnie come for a ball screen. You know, I had flashbacks of him having a couple game winners last year, so that's what was going through my head. But then he ended up passing it to Phillip. Phillip was fumbling the ball, and they're in a 2-3, and we overloaded that side, so I was open in the middle, and I just stepped right into the shot and knocked it down.
What's that feeling like? Because most of us will never know that feeling, to hit a shot like that and have 15,411 people lose their mind.
Oh, my God, that feeling was crazy. When it was in the air, as soon as it dropped, it felt good leaving my hand. That's like a different type of feeling when you know it's going to go in and the crowd is going to go crazy. That was a different type of feeling, man.
Yeah, I'll bet it is. He's True Washington with us on the Sports Animal.
No, True, you mentioned it after the game, the extra work that you were putting in, even the night before, working on some of those wing threes against the zone. And you mentioned, the offense is something that you really had to work on, as you've grown up. And how much of that extra work on your own has contributed to where you are right now?
Oh, the extra work's a lot, man. It's just like going into the game, I never doubt myself because of the work that I put in. So just going in the game with a lot of confidence, man. You just got to trust your work. It all comes down to what you do on your own time.
I don't know how rivalries are built over time, and I think they're generational, right? Fans may have long-time rivalries, whether it's New Mexico State or Utah, but it feels like this group has got a pretty good rivalry going with Utah State. And I don't know if you remember this. When we were in Logan, you and I walked into the building together on the night of the game. And all those fans that were just watching you guys walk in, I remember standing there at the door, and you and I kind of walked in together, and I said something to you like it's kind of cool watching these guys look at you, right? Do you remember that moment and that fan base? Because I thought winning that game really was a big turning point for this team's confidence.
Yeah, especially on the way. I mean, walking into that game, it was a crazy atmosphere. I think it don't get any crazier than the pit, but
yeah.
It was crazy for a away game, and we came in and we just got in there and got the dub.
Yeah, I remember that look you gave me as you, because I said something to you. Is right? All those fans just kind of just stared. Nobody really said anything, right? They were all just kind of looking at you, and I thought that was a great moment. Hey, where are you? You have 14 siblings, right? Where do you fall in that? Because growing up with 14 brothers and sisters, got to be, you're fighting for everything, aren't you?
Yeah, but I was the baby, though, so I kind of got everything I wanted. Is
that right? So did you get all the hand-me-downs, or you get new clothes?
I had new clothes.
Yeah. And being the baby, so the last one coming through, you got pretty good, tight relationships with most of your siblings?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. And I know a lot of them play basketball. Did you follow footsteps? Like, what got you into the game itself?
What really got me in my game was my older brother Tyrone. He has a son named Tata Washington, is my nephew.
With the Bucks.
He always kept us together. We used to work out at a park when we were younger out there in Arizona heat. But I was always a two-sport athlete. I always played football and basketball. But as I got older, I was bigger on football side. But as I got older, I seen Tata always come home every weekend from coming out of town with a new pair of shoes. He used to play on that team with Jalen House with Mike Bibby. But they come home with brand new shoes and go out of town. And the only time I was going out of town was like once a year because football was a once a year thing. We have state championship in town and nationals probably somewhere in California. So I kind of switched over because I wanted to experience other cities and other states. And basketball just was like more fun, and it was more games. It wasn't just a Saturday game.
Well, so the gear is something you noticed. So what do you think about all the gear that you guys get to rock this season? The retro jerseys yesterday, the statehood uniforms. You guys are looking pretty good this year.
Yeah, the gear is nice. I love the gear. Yesterday, I love the new set we had. I think we do a great job of just switching up the rotation with the gear.
What's the favorite one? You had the yellows, the turquoise, the regular, the homes and the cherries and the whites, and then yesterday's. You got a favorite one?
I'm going to say yesterday.
Because you scored 25.
One, and especially I had a career high in the yesterday one, so I have to go with that one.
The one I scored 25 points and beat Utah. Hell yes, it was my favorite one. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
All right, a big week, man. You guys are going to tough spots. I don't know what CJ's availability is going to be. Maybe you guys know Mustafa as well. Going to Boise and San Diego, and you guys can really put this thing away this week. So coming off the emotion, what's the mindset now going? You got to go two really tough places to play against good teams.
We're going to go to practice today, see what Coach has for the game plan. We're just always going to stay locked in. We know away games are always harder, so our focus is you got to be there.
You having fun?
We're just going to – I think we play Boise first, right?
Yeah. You go to Boise on Wednesday and then San Diego. Yeah.
We're going to worry about Boise first, then.
Fair enough.
Then we get to San Diego.
You having fun? Because win is fun. You guys having a good time?
Yeah, when you're winning, you're always going to have a good time. But like Christina said, the race is not over. Can you celebrate now? Then we trick it off.
All right. Well, maybe I'll bring the birthday cake or cupcake. Your birthday is going to be on the quarterfinal day of the conference tournament, March 13th. It'll be a Thursday. We'll all be in Vegas, and whoever you play, let's celebrate then. But hey, man, congratulations on just a spectacular outing yesterday, and what's been a really, really fun season for you. I always enjoy spending a couple minutes with you when we can, and thanks for spending some time with us this morning.
Appreciate y'all having me.
All right. Safe travels this week, and go get him. Thanks for the time. He is True Washington, New Mexico True. Oh, hey, True. You still there? No, he's gone. Oh, damn it. I wanted to ask him about how didn't he ever get approached for a New Mexico True endorsement? I'll ask him another time. That was
good.
good.
To set it up for him.
That was good, man.
And this,
I knew the answer on the uniforms, by the way.
Yeah, the one you scored a career high in. But again, it's what they say. Like, I believe it with this team. Like, they win, they're back to work. That's a sign of a good team. They don't care. He's like, we're at Boise State now.
Yeah, where am I going now?
Like, they're in it. I'm not worried about this team overlooking, not having effort, getting too high. Like, they're in it, man. They've shown it that's not a question with this team.
So right. I mean, it's such the right answer. Where are we going next? Right? I'm not looking ahead to the end, and yeah. And Richard's done a great job with that. Like, I give the coaching staff a really, really, really bunch of credit. And I've told you this for, 2, 3, 4 years now. I love Richard's demeanor. I love, and maybe this is growing up as his dad's kid, right? Maybe he's got a little bit of a head start as far as being a head coach or whatever. Or maybe that's just who he's evolved into. But he doesn't get too high, too low. He doesn't get caught up in the hype. He keeps things on a level that obviously these kids get. I think the way he handles the media is really, really good. His messaging is good. He's always, every single time at a press conference, thanks the crowd. Like, he's on point.
He's got it. And I do think there's also another level a team gets to when they know how good they are.
Yeah.
That they're not worrying about what's next or let down. Like, they are legitimately locked in. All right, we'll show up today, and then we'll learn about Boise State.
Yeah. All right, you can respond to what you just heard, 505-246-0610. Really appreciate True Washington being with us. That was fun. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 670 Sports Animal.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radios.
Rapid Radios are...
We are proud sponsors of high school and college sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
I'm a Blaze King customer, and I have been for the last 10 years. Blaze King stoves are very efficient, they're easy to maintain, and they use a lot less wood than you would typically use with a fireplace.
Blaze King, that's a fire.
The heat is on when it's a Blaze King wood stove, controlling heat up to 40 hours on a single load of wood with a built-in thermostat. See for yourself at either Blaze King showroom, Albuquerque and Santa Fe. Blaze King, and now that's a fire.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Hi, my name is Ruben, and I'm with the New Mexico Educational Assistance Foundation. We are proud sponsors of high school and college sports. Either college or trade, we can help you find the funding you need. Go to nmfafsa.org. That's nmfafsa.org.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
I might not be in the cage as much anymore. Just like riding a bicycle, I can pick up the fight from where I left off. I'm not some slick-haired outsider posing with borrowed gloves. I grew up here. New Mexico is in my blood. I'm a New Mexican fighting for other New Mexicans. I'm Adam Oki. I'll be your champion in the courtroom.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
Got shots? Got shots? Got shots?
During Got Shots, participating providers open their doors for any child who presents for immunizations, regardless of whether they are a patient or whether they have insurance.
TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sports shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. TurboThreads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for TurboThreads.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
And Big 12.
Appreciate True Washington being with us. If you missed that, want to hear it again, it'll be wherever you get your podcast. Just go to our website, sportsanimalabq.com, click on the opening drive, and it'll be there for you. JJ Buck and me, Jeff Symbiota, he acknowledged just a little more confidence, right? A little more swagger over the last bunch of games. And, I said, why? And was anything happen? I think maybe sometimes you just get into a rhythm. You just start, finding your groove, and certainly taking a little bit of advantage of teams focusing on Donovan Dent like he did yesterday.
And the fact that Dent is a good point guard, and he's going to put the ball where it needs to go. And when the double or triple team comes, or whenever they're trying to cut him off, he's going to pass it. And I think a big thing yesterday wasn't just getting plays off Donovan Dent, is they used him as the ball handler in pick and roll situations. And now if you can work in some of that, and all of a sudden you have not just Donovan, but then True being able to run that high pick and roll with Nelly Jr. Joseph, just another attack option for the Lobos.
Emails, Jeff at sportsanimalabq.com or JJ at sportsanimalabq.com. You can find us on the Twitter, or I say you can find JJ on the X, because that really would be more accurate both ways. Underscore JJ Buck. If you're not following JJ, you should be. It's a great follow. Underscore JJ Buck. And you can call 505-246-0610. That's the phone line and the text line. Ryan sent an email that says, hey, Jeff, congrats to the Lobos on a great win. I'm really looking forward to the Lobos coming to Viejas next week. Should be a great game against my Aztecs. If SDSU plays defense like they did against Boise, I think they'll have a good shot of winning. Did have one question. How important do you think it is for New Mexico to finally make a deep run in the tournament and get that monkey off their back? It's from Ryan, the Aztec fan who listens to the show, and appreciate Ryan listening. First of all, a couple things in there. JJ, promise you, San Diego State will play defense next Saturday in Viejas against the Lobos. If the Lobos are without C.J. Nolan and or Seal and go in there shorthanded, it's a tough task. I'm not telling you they lose that game, but it's a tough task, right?
So that game's Tuesday.
Is it Tuesday of next week? So they're off next weekend.
Yes.
That totally benefits me.
And the Lobos.
And the Lobos, because they don't have to go straight from Boise to San Diego. I guess it's way more important that it benefits the Lobos than it benefits me. That's next Tuesday?
Yeah.
I should have gone in SoCal a little bit earlier and gone to that game. But that's a big one. To his point, how important do you think it is for New Mexico to finally make a deep run in the tournament, get their monkey off the back? It's important. It's been important for years, Ryan. Look, and I've been here 28 and a half. I think this is my 29th Lobo season I've watched. Right? And it's been important then. It was important when Kenny Thomas was playing in the 97, 98, 99, those years. It was important in the Alford runs. It's important now. Like it doesn't get any less important. I guess you almost got to define important. How important? Like it's huge for this fan base. Brian, I will tell you, and I've said this before, I think New Mexico is the best program in America that has never been to the Sweet 16. I mean, You've got, teams that make a run. Oh, my goodness, Abilene Christian made a run, and Northern Iowa made a run, and George Mason made that run to the Final Four, right? I mean, all these. New Mexico is the best program in America that has never been to the Sweet 16. Well, Jeff, they were back. Okay. Since it's expanded to 64 plus. Okay. Since it's expanded to its relatively recent format. When the Bliss years with Kenny Thomas, all 4 years, they went to the tournament each year and won a game. To me, all the arguments end there. That was the best run in the history of Louisville basketball. Was there a better singular team? We could have that conversation. But Ryan, how important is it? It's important. It's been important to this fan base for a long time. I've said, and somewhat jokingly, if they ever make it to the Sweet 16, they won't get there because they're going to run a damn parade down Central because they got through the first weekend and the team won't get there. They're going to build a statue. Right? This fan base has been yearning for that. And yeah, it's hurt to watch Nevada get there. San Diego State's been there multiple times now, been to the final game of the year. And I remember coming back, JJ, from that Final Four in Houston 2 years ago when the Aztecs were there. And yes, San Diego State's my alma mater, and it was fun, and it was fun watching all those Aztecs lose their mind. And I remember what was one of the first things I said to you. I said, I want the Lobo fans to experience this. I want them to have this experience because it was so cool. Because this fan base is I don't know what deserves mean, right? But it feels like this fan base deserves that run. So yeah, it's important. I don't know. How, will you, when we come back, will you answer that? I want your answer on how important it is to get to the Sweet 16. Is that cool? All right. Jeff Zimbietta, JJ Buck. It's President's Day on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
The Yeller Sub, located on 7200 Montgomery Boulevard, serves breakfast all day long along with classic hot and cold subs. Don't forget about our shakes, malts and floats made with your favorite Blue Bell ice cream. 45 years and still going strong. Come on down to the Yeller Sub, official sandwich of ProView Networks.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
I might not be in the cage as much anymore. Just like riding a bicycle, I can pick up the fight from where I left off. I'm not some slick-haired outsider posing with borrowed gloves. I grew up here. New Mexico is in my blood. I'm a New Mexican fighting for other New Mexicans. I'm Adam Oki. I'll be your champion in the courtroom.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready!
My coach. My teacher. My older sisters. My grandma. My brother. My tutor. My dad and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people. The day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe in heroes. That's why you remember and collect their memories.
Opening Drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the sports animal. Here's Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck.
Well, a big fun win at the pit on Sunday Pass. That would be yesterday. Opening Drive, Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck. Thanks for being with us on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the sports animal. 82-79, New Mexico wins over Utah State. We just heard from True Washington, and if you missed that, you can find that on our website. So, JJ, right before the break, we got an email from Ryan who said, "How important do you think it is for New Mexico to win, to win games in the tournament and get to the Sweet 16 and get the monkey off their back?" And my response was, I mean, it's been important for years, and it's not getting less important. This fan base, I believe is earned that. I don't even know what that means, but at some point, I think they deserve it. But every Lobo team that's gone to the tournament has had that pressure, and the Alfred team that was a 3 seed and lost to Harvard, has to own that. We go all the way back. We hear people talk about Cal State Fullerton in 1970, whatever it was. I don't know. How do you answer the question?
If you get gigantic, it's why you keep coming back. It's the passion that's there for Lobo basketball is because you have that feeling you can do something bigger in basketball than you can do in any other sport you sponsor. And I get it. There's national champions out there. There's cross country. There's exceptional athletes. There's Olympic athletes at the University of New Mexico. But what drives this fan base is basketball. And it starts with that men's basketball team, and then it filters down because there's that belief that they could do something special with the basketball. And it's not the national stage, but they're essentially the lovable losers right now, right? It's the Cubs and the Red Sox before I ever won anything. And you're waiting to get to that moment to where you can become the pompous fan base because you finally won something.
It's you've always had to eat it, right? I mean, as good as the program's been, as many big regular season wins as you've had, both on the road and in the pit, other fan bases have that over you. right? Boise does, and Boise State's never won a game in the tournament. So that's a monkey that they got to get off their back. They've never won a game in the tournament. But look, it is what it is, and whoever gets there is going to be a freaking legend. They just are. Hey, this is a really good email, and then I'll get to the phones. Where was it? Was it actually maybe it was a text? It is. Terry said this. This may be a preemptive strike, but look up the conference tournament schedule. Usually the 1 seed plays the first game on Thursday. Some fans will say, why don't they get to play at night? Really good point. If you are planning on going to the tournament, and I know a lot of people say, well, I'll just go in on Thursday, right? Or you're trying to save a night, or, I don't know what the schedules look like for the early flights. I've already got mine. But if the Lobos were the 1 seed, and it sure as heck looks like they're going to be the 1 seed, they will play that first game. That will be noon Pacific, 1 o'clock local, Mountain Time on Thursday. Why? I don't know why, man. They have the 3-4 game as the kind of the primetime game, and whatever, man. It doesn't matter why. The 1 seed will play at noon. And so if they fall to the 2, they'll fall to 6 o'clock, but plan on being there. That's all I'm telling you. If you're planning on driving, you might want to go in the night before. Just a preemptive strike. All right, 505-246-0610. Hoser, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. What's up, Jose?
Hey, I think I know why. Because the winner of that game doesn't have to play till 8 o'clock the next night. That's not right.
That's not right. They play at 6:30 the next night.
Oh, well, still, I mean, that's almost 24 hours plus,
Yeah, it is 24 hours plus, actually.
So, yeah. I mean, so I think that's why. But either way, I agree with Ryan. I think this fan base is really, that's a big gorilla on the back. I mean, every time you get to the NCAA tournament, you want to get out of that first weekend, and you want to, all this is nice. We've been through it a lot before, but man, if we don't get to that second weekend, I'm not saying that, I think some people are going to feel disappointed. It's going to take a little bit of that luster away, because that is what we want. We know that what we enjoy, what we have here, but we want the rest of the nation to acknowledge what we have here, and I think that's still lacking because of not getting to that second weekend. So, yes, I mean all these games, even these next road games in conference, like I'm still kind of concerned. But what I've learned from this team is that man, they're going to fight to the end, and it's not a team that's necessarily just going to fold and let the loss come, but. So that's great. I mean, that's one of the things that it's been different this year, is that this team can really fight to the end, and they're really not ever out of it. And so, but yes, as far as the fan base, man, that second weekend needs to happen. And if it happens this year, watch out. It's going to be great.
Whatever year it does, it'll be great.
Yeah, whatever year it does. But I mean, but this year, I mean, it feels like this should be the year, right? I mean, every year that you have, where they're doing so great in conference play, it feels like it's going to be that year. And then, for whatever reason, whether it's the second game or the first weekend, the matchup just, doesn't really go our way. But forget the matchup. It's like, man, we're good. We should be able to get to that second weekend. But that's what we're shooting for.
All right, man. Appreciate you.
Right.
I don't know. Does it feel like when we went into the tournament last year, what was it, 6? No, they were 10. They were 10. They were 11. They were 11. They were in the 6-11 game, right?
Yes, they were 11.
But they were a really trendy pick.
Oh, of course. People look. They just won the Mountain West Conference. Best Mountain West has been in maybe the whole 25-year existence of the conference.
And ran into a bigger, better Clemson team, who I believe went to the Elite Eight, if I'm not mistaken. Right? Does this feel, and it's hard to remember back to this, right? Because the last 2 years, Lobos finished 6th in this league. And I know that's it's weird to think. Really? Yes. They were the 6th place team in this league. They were the 6th seed. They played on Wednesday last year. And the year before they were on Wednesday in the conference tournament. But I want to go back to the Alford years when they were kind of like this, right? It was this same fervor the Pit was very reminiscent of what it is now. You're winning big games. You were cutting down nets, and I think you're going to cut down nets in the regular season. You cut down nets at the end of the champ. I mean, like, dude, you're starting to collect nets now, right? It's kind of cool. I don't know that I think it's any different, and recency certainly skews that. But was it different back in 13 or whatever it was, where you were a 3 seed and played Harvard, or when you played Montana or you played Long Beach State and ended up losing to Washington or whoever it is, right? The Quincy Pondexter team. I don't know that I feel like expectations are any higher or less. I mean, those were those teams where you were excited and this is our year. You went into last year's tournament thinking this is our year. I think every time you get there, this is our year. Josue, I don't know that I feel this year is any different than any other year. And whenever they do break through, and at some point I got to believe they will break through and get to the Sweet 16 and beyond, that will be a party unlike any other around here. It will be a legendary group, team, coach group that was able to break through a ceiling. And granted, it's not the ultimate ceiling in college basketball, but it is a ceiling around here which has never been penetrated. And I think that will be just a legendary, celebrated group whenever. And if it happens this March, God bless it. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully you don't get there and get beat by 40. Just say, all right, we finally got here.
Well, it's not. It's the attainable but unattainable goal for this program, because that is the one game. As much as you talk about college athletics and the haves and the have-nots, that's something that you still believe you can be a have in, is basketball. Even when we see the money matters and what the SEC is doing with the game, you still feel that, hey, I can have 5 dudes that I can beat one of those teams.
The UMBC
that I can be in the Sweet 16. And if it's happened twice now, you're sitting there going, man, if 16 seed can beat a 1 seed, at some point in time, it feels like this program has to make it to the second weekend. It just has to.
Did Fairleigh Dickinson win 2 games? Or they just won the 1? I think they just won 1. I don't think they got the Sweet 16. But, I mean, you've seen VCU get there. You've seen George Mason get there. You've seen, I mean, all Abilene Christian, all the programs that gosh, we got better history. We're better than that. I believe you're the best program in America that's never gotten that far. Who we got on? You want me to take the break? You want me to take the call? All right, let's go. Howard, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. Hi, Howard.
Hey, good morning, guys. I kind of formulated a little plan and got a watch party together over at my Moose Lodge. I also hatched another plan and got my 8-year-old granddaughter over there selling Girl Scout cookies at the same time. $150, guys.
Attaboy. Get a bunch of liquored up Moose Lodgers with a cute Girl Scout out there spending their money. I think that's beautiful.
I tell you what, she was a rock star. So, but anyway, man, I tell you, you can't believe how much noise about 50 or 60 people made when True Washington hit that shot. The Lobos have shown a mental toughness down the stretch that I haven't seen from a Lobo team in quite a while. And I mean, if Richard Pitino sticks around, where do we start talking about him and best coaches of all time at UNM? It certainly has been doing a phenomenal job, in my opinion, over the last 3 years.
Yeah, I mean, let's get there and have that conversation. Yeah.
Yep. Take care, guys. Thanks for taking my call.
All right. See you. Keep them coming. 505-246-0610. We can get into the other stuff, too. And you want to get into the NBA weekend, who won the All-Star weekend. Justin Tucker is becoming more and more like Deshaun Watson. I mean, it feels like every day. The NBA All-Star game, the Four Nations. What a weekend. 505-246-0610. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
So we're picking up new stations.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sport shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. Turbo Threads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for Turbo Threads.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com.
Hi, my name is Ruben, and I'm with the New Mexico Educational Assistance Foundation. We are proud sponsors of high school and college sports. Either college or trade, we can help you find the funding you need. Go to nmfafsa.org. That's nmfafsa.org.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gallus Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66. Built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Mirror here. And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team is going through some changes, but we're here to stay. We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field. 505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space. And you can be part of it.
You make my heart better. Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. For over 4 decades, our law firm has remained steadfast in our commitment to serving the remarkable people of New Mexico that have been injured through no fault of their own. I'm a New Mexican fighting for New Mexicans. I received my bachelor's degree at NMSU and earned my law degree at UNM. I can proudly say I'm both an Aggie and a Lobo. Call now and I will meet with you. 40 years strong, and we're still as local as red and green.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in Burkia. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight.
All right, OD, AM, let's go on a President's Day. Merry President's Day. What do you say, Happy President's Day? Do you say Happy President's Day, celebrate as you wish, as you will?
I don't celebrate President's Day.
You just take the day off, right?
Take the day off.
I mean, it's like you go skiing, right?
my president's cake or
yeah, you go. Can I get a tea time, dude? It's gonna be
toast.
like 6. Should we play golf today? It's like 60-something degrees out there.
It's a great day.
I know. All right, 505-246-0610 coming off a Lobo victory. This guy on the text line, 505-246-0610. It's from John. It says, hey, guys, the caller Ryan, who's actually a emailer, does not get it. Of course, it's very crucial that UNM Lobo men's basketball team gets to play in the Sweet 16. What does he mean? Is it important? Come on. Be real here. And yes, the UNM Lobos are headed that way. Go Lobos. He didn't ask if it's he asked kind of to judge the degree of importance. And I know I'm playing semantics here.
Well, and by the way, it's a dude that's not a Lobo fan,
right?
Asking a question.
Right.
So I think what he was trying to get at is the one thing where I give credit to the Lobo fan base.
Yeah,
it hasn't stopped them.
No,
like it doesn't change the energy, doesn't change the passion
really
for the
good.
program.
You're right. Like
it's not like, oh, you don't get Sweet 16, you're not selling out that building if you're on that run next year.
So when Ohio State won the national championship in football, there was that conversation. There was the poll in the Ohio or the Columbus Dispatch. What's more important, winning the national championship or beating Michigan? Remember that? And it was like 52.6% said beating Michigan is more important than winning the national championship, which is just bonkers, right? Just crazy. I know the answer to this, but I'm gonna ask it anyway and explain. So what's more important to a Lobo fan, cutting down nets or getting to the Sweet 16? And the answer obviously is getting to the Sweet 16. Okay? Because you've never been there. However, cutting down nets is what keeps you coming back, right? To your point, it hasn't slowed down the fan base. It hasn't demoralized the fan base. It hasn't lessened the fan base. That promise of somehow getting to the second weekend and beyond of the NCAA tournament is there. But cutting down nets in the process, last year in Vegas, I believe this year in the regular season, all those nets that Alford cut down, right? I believe that's what has kept this fan base passionate, fervorous is a word, but does that make sense to you?
There's still a light at the end of the tunnel. There's still that piece of cake you get by being a conference champion, a tournament champion, cutting down nets, having a trophy. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, and to your point on the emailer, Ryan, he's not a Lobo fan. In fact, I don't know where he is. He, as he said, he's an Aztec fan who found the show and said some really, really nice things. He says, is this just popped up? Here, I'll read you this one as I'm reading it live to you. He says, hey, Jeff, because I sent him back a note. He says, hey, Jeff, appreciate you reaching out. I found you guys 3 or 4 years ago and love the way your show can mix in national sports along with the Lobos and Mountain West Conference talk. It's a great needle that you thread. I've been in San Diego since I was 8 and just turned 42. I've been following the Aztecs since Fisher's first year. What a journey it's been. The Final Four was probably the height of my sports fandom. Yeah, I totally agree. SDSU is definitely going to need that game against the Lobos more than New Mexico. I'm hoping I can get to the game that Tuesday. I might try to make the tournament this year as well. I'd love to say hi. As always, keep up the great work, and I'll continue to email when I have something to say. Go Aztecs. See, I appreciate that. And Brian, thank you for the kind words. So just to put it into context who he is and why I asked that question, he lives in San Diego. I don't know him. By the way, he's not one of my Aztec buddies, like Ralph, who sends surf reports. But I appreciate him finding the show and liking it. We've found a lot of guys. One thing I've found is some of the stuff we do resonates outside of the market as well, which is cool in its own respect. But yeah, that's the point on that. That's just where that was going. All right, big win, Jeff. Oh, this Indiana. This is from Lobo Hobo. The IU dude, the Indiana player that missed right under the basket that would have sent the game in extra innings to take away some of his NIL money. NIL needs to work both ways, right? Not really. No, it's like a salary. No. Ken says, didn't watch the game, but I've watched enough contests at Wise Pies in 40 years, Jeff, that when I see the free throw line in the paper, I know the useless Mountain West Conference refs hosed Utah State. Did you just plug in Utah State, or just that's the same email he just sends regularly? I guess. Garcia says, another self-inflicted wound, Jeff. How many Saturdays this season have we had to choose between the Lady Lobos and football? I don't know. Not many. Oh, you mean like NFL football or something? The Lady Lobos and basketball, men's basketball. Well, Saturday's coast was clear. We had a chance for a dream-style gate, and there was no game. The built was empty. Once Lobo gets his sea legs, he's got to go to scheduling and get the post times cleared up. He has to. See, the Lobos don't play next Saturday. Men, right? That's just, you get a midweek off and you get a weekend off, dude.
Yeah, the Lobo women have senior day next Saturday.
There you go. Garcia, so get out there. There's no
come out and stop.
There's no football.
Show up and stop complaining.
No football next Saturday. No Lobo men's basketball next Saturday. Get it all to yourself, Garcia.
There's one game I will say, throw everything out and show up. It will be. No, they have 2 home games left.
This is women. You're talking about women.
The women.
Yeah.
Now they have 2 home games left, but they're celebrating the seniors on a Saturday. This upcoming Saturday against Utah State at 2 p.m.
How many seniors we got?
There's 3 seniors just celebrating.
Are they like seniors that like? I don't even know what a senior
they're
is.
done.
They're done.
They're not. Oh, we're celebrating with because that's Alyssa Hargrove is not being honored.
Okay.
And she has another year of eligibility. It's Amaya Moreland, Ulda Drakeem, who, by the way, should get a ton of credit as one of those players that's developed over 3 years.
Yep.
And BNA Cumber. And if you like anything Lobo and you're one of those people that screams about local kids, like get off your ass and go to the game Saturday for Cumber Senior Day.
Is it a day, night game? When is it?
2 p.m.
All right. Who are they playing? Utah
State.
I knew that. See?
But like all the people that just complain about scheduling, local kids, this or that.
This guy right here, the email I just read?
And that person's not going to show up a bit.
Promise.
But this would be the one where I'd say, you know what, throw out the records. I know the frustration, the comments. I understand it. They lost 5 games in a row. That sucks. But it's senior day for one of the best Lobos ever. Local kid, Sandra High School, grew up going to Lobo basketball games, ended up finding her way to the University of New Mexico because Texas Tech fired their coach. And one of my favorite people to ever cover is Vienna Cumber. And she's just she's a good person, and she's a baller. And I'm going to use my soapbox because I kind of rarely do it for this, is Saturday, 2 p.m. at the Pit. She's being honored. Senior day, like, get out there. For all the people that complain about the scheduling, game times, this or that, where the local kids at, you have a Gatorade player over there from Sandia High School that is second all-time in made three-pointers. It's running down Tay Duff that has had some of the biggest shots of Lobo basketball for the last few seasons. Pack the Pit.
And you got 2 weeks to do that, basically, because that's March 1st?
Oh, it's the 22nd. It's this Saturday.
Oh, it's this Saturday. What am I thinking March 1st? What the hell was I thinking about? All right, so it's this Saturday. Senior day already.
Yeah, so they have 2 home games left, but they're doing it on Saturday as opposed to their final home games, like a midweek game against Air Force.
I love that. So. In a lot of respect. I just love it. Well, there you go, Garcia. Lobo's taking care of it. Give him the credit. Or give JJ the credit. Yeah, no, you scheduled the game. Take it, dude. Just take the credit. Just take it. All right, we can get anywhere else you want to go. If you want to get into Aaron Rodgers begging the Jets to stay, I want your thoughts. If you caught any All-Star stuff, you know what else I'd love to hear your thoughts on? I know this isn't really sports. Actually, not even really. Did you catch the Saturday Night Live 50th anniversary show last night? With everything from Lorraine Newman and Garrett Morris from the original cast all the way up to the current cast and Sandler and just bam, dude. I felt like they hit almost on everything. There was, a couple sketches, all right. But, I thought they nailed it. I grew up with Saturday Night Live. I still like it. I still think it hits. Bill Murray on Weekend Update was really good. Just kind of curious. Did you think it hit? 505-246-0610, wherever you want to go. And I got my thoughts on that San Diego State game a week from Tuesday, which, by the way, man, that's a big break because C.J. Nolan could be back by then, right? And it gives Amsil like a full week after the Boise State game to get healthy. That's catching a break there. Hey, how's your vehicle? We're going to get what beautiful weather. Like we had a storm last week. I'm in line now. It's due for me to get another OTS, on the spot automotive detailing service. What are they? Who are they? They're the best. They are mobile detailing. They come to you. They've been voted best in the city because, well, they're best in the city at what they do. They come to you and detail your vehicle. That means inside and outside, around the rims, under the hood, everywhere you don't get, they detail your vehicle. Like, that's what the car dealers do. When you took your car off the lot that day, remember it felt brand new? It was brand new. You can have that new car smell and feel without buying a new car. They come to you at your convenience. That's at the office, at your house. It's not even an option. You don't get to bring it to them. I don't know where they are. Doesn't matter where they are. They know where I am. Take care of your vehicle. It's one of your biggest investments. Make sure you are taking care of it. Ask them about paint protection, ceramic coating, lifetime warranties. It's all online, otsdetailing.com. You can book and buy online. On the spot automotive detailing is at otsdetailing.com. otsdetailing.com.
reviews. I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready.
My coach, my teacher, my older sisters, my grandma, my brother, my tutor, my dad, and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
These days, it's important to know people and businesses you can trust. There's a lot of places where you can buy a vehicle, but there's only a few local dealerships where you'll find honest people who have your best interests in mind. And Fiesta Kia is one of them. We've been helping our neighbors save money and drive dependable cars for years, and we'd love to help you. With new Kias arriving daily, you'll love our selection and the peace of mind you'll get driving a Kia from Fiesta. So stop by and see us today at Fiesta Kia on Lomas, or just start driving now at fiestakia.com.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep.
College basketball all season from the Big Ten, ACC, SEC, and Big 12.
Oh, there's somebody brought breakfast. You get a burrito? Yeah, appreciate that too. Opening drive, Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck, 505-246-0610. Emails are coming in, Jeff at sportsanimallabq.com and JJ at sportsanimallabq.com. Dean is in on the Sweet 16. Lobos have some tough ones coming up, one game at a time. Being an 8 or 9 seed, the big dance can be just a huge mountain to climb if you win by playing the number 1 seed in round 2. I feel a better path is a 7 or even 10 or 11 seed. First thing first, though, Broncos on Wednesday, then one at a time after that. Still lots of basketball to be played. Dean, 100%. And coaches and players, they got to do that, but
we don't have to.
That's right.
And then be a 10 seed. Oh, you could play a 2 seed in the next round. Be 11, so you play 3 seed. Like, it's an NCAA tournament, man. Like,
everybody's pretty good, right? Montana's good, and Harvard's good, and
who knows if there's an upset on the other side and you somehow get it.
Well, the Aztecs have got that a couple times, right?
Yeah, they had Yale last year.
In the second round, they beat Charleston, and then didn't Yale beat, like, not Purdue? Was it Purdue?
Well, last year they beat UAB. In the first round, did San Diego State.
And then they got Charleston.
Yale beat Auburn.
Yeah, Yale beat Auburn.
And then Aztecs beat Yale.
Yeah.
And then they went down to UConn
in the next round. It's UConn who's beat them the last 2 years in the tournament. Once in the Sweet 16 and once in the final game. But yeah, like they before they ever got to their first Sweet 16.
And then Clemson went on to Elite 8 last year, right? That was the first round matchup.
After beating New Mexico. I remember Aztecs beat somebody. And they were going to get Georgetown, but instead Florida Gulf Coast beat Georgetown, and they were going to get Florida Gulf Coast, and Florida Gulf Coast beat them in the round and went to the Sweet 16, and Andy Enfield got the job at USC. Florida Gulf Coast has been to the Sweet 16. There's no way you can ever convince me that Florida Gulf Coast is a better program than New Mexico. They're not. They got on a run that year, and they got to the Sweet 16. They beat Georgetown. They beat San Diego State. Right? So, look, Dean, we can look forward. Just because JJ and I and you, Dean, lose focus doesn't mean they're going to get beat by Boise State. But, yeah, it's one game at a time. But you're all thinking it. Robert, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. What's up?
Yeah, good morning. That was a really nice game. I like the way the Lobos finished off the game. What I've been noticing about Dent is he has a way of taking over the game. Towards the end of the game, he'll go up to the half-court line in the corner there, hold the ball for about 10 or 15 seconds, take it to the paint, and normally he'll come up with a shot or he can dish it off. So I think he's really instrumental in winning those games for us. Like I say, he's taken over control. Another thing about him, it doesn't seem like he gets tired. If you notice, you don't ever see him sweating. In fact, Joseph, the same way. It seems like they're in really good condition, and they don't seem to get tired or run out of gas. So anyway, that's kind of what I notice about Dent, that he's really the catalyst in making those late plays happen and taking over the game. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how it pans out. But I have a good feeling for the Lobos this year. But anyway, you guys have a great day.
Thank you. Appreciate the call. Look, that's what Player of the Year candidates do. And honestly, and that's why he will be the Player of the Year in this league. I think he sewed it up on Sunday. Not that I don't think it was sewn up before. I think he's the guy. I just don't know where else you think you're going. I mean, you think you're going to Nick Clifford, and Nick Clifford has been really, really good. You going to Nelly Jr. Joseph? Nelly's been really, really good. This is, JJ, it might even be, dare I say, unanimous when it comes down to Player of the Year voting. He's almost 2 points better average than the number 2 scorer in the league. He's the number 2 guy in assists in the league, 6.3 to 6.7 to Alvaro Cardenas. And his team is 14-1. Like, honestly, do you think I don't remember the last time we had a unanimous, it could have been last year for all. Who was the Player of the Year last year? It was a great Osobor, right? Was he unanimous? But it's hard for me to think where else you're going now, right?
I don't think there's any way he's not the Player of the Year. He's going to finish strong, continue to have good games. Lobos' record, where they're going to finish, it's his award.
All right, leave one guy off the all-conference team. Donovan Dent, Nelly Jr. Joseph, Nick Clifford, Tyson Degenhart, Obi Ogbim, Ian Martinez.
Ogbim.
Okay. Ogbin is the number 4 scorer in the league, averaging 17.7 points a game, but his team is lower down in the standings. So you would have Dent, Clifford, Degenhart, Martinez, and Nelly as your first team?
Yeah, Martinez or Falslove.
Okay. Martinez is averaging 17.1, Falslove at 15.3. Falslove does other things. But okay. Second team, probably Bird, Uduje, Davidson, Falslove, and Didon Thomas. I got to throw Ogbim on there, don't I? Yeah. All right. 505-246-0610. What's up, JT?
What's going on, my friend?
How you living?
That game, Jeff, was a little bit more special. The sweep of Utah State, and I have nothing against Mendenhall, but it just felt a little bit better because we swept them. But we're going to have to start figuring out how we're going to pay True Washington. I think he improved like crazy from last year.
Yep.
He's becoming a go-to guy.
Yeah.
But, you know, the big thing is I love Patino because he's just keeping it. You know, he doesn't freak out. He makes the right adjustments. You know, on one end, it's going to be amazing. I've been going to Lobo games for over 50 years, but I have a feeling, man. I have a feeling, Jeff, we're going to make it to the second weekend. I think it's finally our ship has come in for this year. But, you know, at that point, if we do, I know for a fact we're losing Patino because there's going to be Power 5 teams quadrupling his money like crazy. So if he does, that's fine, too. I mean, I'm going to thank him and shake his hand, and we're going to roll on because he brought us to places like Alford. So,
it's the right answer.
Let's go Lobos.
It's the right answer. Thanks, JT. I'll see you. It's the right answer. Are you going to have to pay True? Yeah. Hey, is this team... Let me back up. Mashburn and House were as dynamic a backcourt as you've had around here in a long, long time. I don't know if I'm going to sit here and tell you the best ever, but maybe. Right? Mashburn and House were as dynamic a backcourt tandem as you've ever had, right? I mean, is it like do you think Williams and Snell was better? Or Greenwood and Williams or whatever? Like
it was good.
It was good.
Yeah.
You lose both of them. Is this team better than last year? And you lose JT Toppin.
Yeah.
Last year's team finished 6th in a better Mountain West. Okay, last year's Mountain West was more competitive than this year. But last year's team finished 6th. This team's 14-1. Is this team better without Mashburn, House, and JT Toppin? And if that's the case, then Richard Pitino's coach of the year, right?
Yeah, it's a different style, and the balance of this team with the length and physicality. I like the potential that gives them to get to an NCAA tournament.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really interesting to me. And it's hard to sit here and say, how the hell can you tell me you took House, Mashburn, and Toppin off the team and somehow they'll be better? And I remember a year ago we were talking about, is Nelly Jr. Joseph better than Morris Udeze? Right? We're having that conversation. Now, absolutely, he's better than Morris Udeze, don't you think?
Yeah, well, I think it's also, Donovan Dent was good. He's that much better.
Yep.
Given the fact he's been able to step up and fill the scoring void left by Jalen House. True Washington, the emergence of his offensive game throughout the season. And I'm, Philip Borovichinen, you look at him, I'm fine with the way he plays because he doesn't need the basketball. He's long. He's a body. 5 rebounds, couple assists. Hit his free throws. He did. He had that stretch. I get it. Went 0 for 3, but he went 6 of 8, finished the game hitting his free throws. And then the way you've mixed in, CJ Noland and Jovan, I just like the way this team is constructed. And I think it's two different things with, last year's team being small and feisty and having to be explosive, but this year's team, I think you can trust them in different ways.
All right, 505-246-0610. Ken, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. Hi, Ken.
Good morning, guys. A couple quick observations about the game yesterday was, so Utah State has a really good student section.
Okay.
They're top 10, top 15, whatever it is in the nation. I was watching Alabama, Auburn. Their student sections are really good. You could say they're probably better than the Pit, but what makes the Pit is the rest of us. When they show the crowd at Utah State, they always show the student section. Yeah. When they show the crowd at the Pit, it's the first 2-3 rows on, behind the baskets that is not the student section.
Yep.
It is basically 1 through 15,500 that are acting like a student section. You got older people. You've got older people bringing their grandkids. They are all cheering. So that's what makes the Pit the Pit. Every single person in that building is like a student section all the way to the top. And it's a very, very special, special place. Second, great win for the Lobos. They took a picture, I believe, after the game with the recruits that signed in their locker room. the UNM locker room.
Yeah, I saw that.
I did not realize how nice that locker room is. It looks like an NBA locker room, and I was just so impressed.
Yep, that's how they are now, man. That's how they are. I'd appreciate the call, Ken. Thank you. Yeah, it's he's right on that. This isn't just a student section thing, right? You talk about Viejas, and they always talk about the show. You talk about, a third of the building in Logan, even more than that, it feels like, is students. This is the community. This is the community's team. This is your big league team, and this is your pro thing. This is the alumni loves it. The people love it. People, like, I can't tell you how many people were down from Santa Fe yesterday watching that game on a Sunday afternoon. Yeah, it is different than almost. Well, I mean, I think Lexington's like that. Rupp Arena gets to be like that because it's Lexington's team, the University of Kentucky. But there's a few places like that. I'll wrap you when we get back. Everything you got to know on a President's Day. It's the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck. Still time for you to get in on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Hi, my name is Ruben, and I'm with the New Mexico Educational Assistance Foundation. We are proud sponsors of high school and college sports. Either college or trade, we can help you find the funding you need. Go to nmfafsa.org. That's nmfafsa.org.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
The Yeller Sub, located on 7200 Montgomery Boulevard, serves breakfast all day long along with classic hot and cold subs. Don't forget about our shakes, malts and floats made with your favorite Bluebell ice cream. 45 years and still going strong. Come on down to the Yeller Sub, official sandwich of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gallus Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66. Built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Everguard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service.
All-star game yesterday in the NBA. Steph Curry was the MVP for Team Shaq or whatever they called it. USA beat Canada. They had 3 fights. Everybody, boys dropped their mitts right away. Anything else we got? Did we get in? When did Alex sign with the Red Sox? That was earlier. We did talk about that. Yeah, that's what you got. 505-246-0610. Scott, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. Hello, Scott.
Hey, Jeff. First of all, I want to tell you did a great job on calling those 2 games. Or was it 2 or 3 games you did?
I got 3 or 4. Yeah, I got. Thank you. Thank you very much. Appreciate that.
Yeah, it was good. So, now I was curious, and I know you may have already updated on this. I just got in here, was listening for the past 20 or 30 minutes, but what's the latest on C.J. Nolan? How's he doing?
So what we understand is concussion-like. I don't know if they've ever said concussion. He got hit in the head. And was JJ? Tell me if I'm wrong here. Was displaying concussion-like symptoms? Is that correct?
Yes.
And so that's the latest we got. So does that mean he's in or out on Wednesday? I don't know that I've got an answer yet. Maybe we'll get something this week.
Okay, I was curious. I don't know that, and I know their coach. He was complaining about the discrepancy of fouls, but I mean, good grief! Every time they got the ball into Nelly, every time True drove in, every time Donnie drove in, they were getting hacked to death, and they were calling it, but. Sometimes things get out of hand a little bit. So it almost seemed like it was after that play that they really started to crack down a little bit more. I don't know, but then that helped the Lobos in the second half because then they couldn't be doing that because too many people were in foul trouble. So it was kind of interesting.
Yeah.
But the Lobos really showed toughness in that, and that's what they're going to experience when they get in the NCAA, especially in the upper games.
That's going to
be more of that. So they're going to have already experienced it. So that's one thing good about it.
Beautiful. Appreciate you, Scott. Don't be a stranger. Thanks, man. The discrepancy in fouls was real. The Lobos got called for 15 fouls, and Utah State got called for 29. And Lobos shot 34 free throws. Utah State shot 16. It was real. And again, I'll argue this: if you commit more fouls, you get called for more fouls. There's nothing in the rule book that says the referee's got to even out fouls.
It has to even it out.
Yeah. 8-game win streak, is their second longest Mountain West win streak and tied for the fourth longest win streak in program history. Lobos rallied from down double digits in the second half for the second straight time. Let's not make that a habit. And they become the first team to clinch a first-round bye in the Mountain West Conference tournament. They will not have to play on Wednesday. All right. Elsewhere in the league, over the weekend, Boise State got beaten San Diego 64-47. Colorado State beat Wyoming 88-53. UNLV by a point over Fresno. UNLV, they blow my mind. 52-51, they beat Fresno State. Nevada over San Jose State 73-58. JJ, the NCAA and its media partners are in discussions with a decision likely within the next few months to expand the tournament to 76. You like it?
No.
Me neither. That would mean a likely additional site to Dayton. This is where the pitch should get
Let's go.
I mean, this is 100% get in on this. Become that site for those play-in games, the first 4. And they'll change the name of first 4 because it'll be first 8. Is that what they're at? Whatever they're adding. Right? 8 additional teams. What it would look like, but you're probably going to have play-ins to the 10 and 11 and 16 seeds. Right? So the at-large seeds, they'll have the Farley Dickinsons or the lowest seeded automatic qualifiers. You'll have 8 teams probably play into 4 spots in the 16s, right? And then you'll play into the 11 seeds. All the 11 seeds will be play-ins. So that would be 8 total games, correct?
Yeah, could it go from 68 to 76?
What's 64 and 8? It's 72, so there'll be two more games than that, or 4 more games. So you'd probably play into the 10 seed too. But this is where the pitch should say, "Hey, this place is iconic. This would be great. If we got to jackhammer out a couple of rows of seats." Now, honestly,
could you be consistent in that rotation to where it benefits the changes that would be needed to put the court in?
What do I have to do to make this happen? We got to move the damn rodeo date. You know what? That's right after state tournament, right? Literally, like, boy, that'd be tough, dude. Like, honestly, because the state tournament ends on Saturday, and that would be on a Tuesday. I mean, as I'm thinking through logistics, right? The state tournament ends on Saturday, and you're not moving the damn state tournament out of the pit. You're just not. Nor should you. Can you turn that thing by Tuesday, get it ready for the NCAAs? Or Wednesday? Because that's when those games are.
Let's put it on the whiteboard.
I mean, that's a big lift. And I don't know how long, it takes to get the floor down and all that stuff, but you'd be working by Saturday, I mean, can it get done? If it can get done, I think it would be something that's so beneficial for this town, for the state, for that university. Thank you to True Washington, Lobo Guard. He was with us today. If you missed it, you can listen to it over on our website, sportsanimallabq.com. Click on the opening drive and it'll be right there. Jim Rome Show is not next. It is The Herd with Colin Cowherd next. Then the Jim Rome Show. 2 men on at 4. We're back tomorrow morning with award-winning radio. We will begin at 7 a.m. Adrian, thanks for working President's Day. Appreciate you. Thank you. Great work. Big day for you?
Huge day.
Enjoy it. Hey, be good to each other, please. Be kind, loving, caring, and sharing. We'll smell you tomorrow.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sport shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. TurboThreads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for TurboThreads.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people. The day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe in heroes. That's why you remember and collect their memorabilia. All in Autographs, where you can meet some of the greats, collect some of the greats, and share your own legacy. Visit All In Autographs, where you can celebrate the great and have your own piece of history.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
I'm David C. Chavis, personal injury attorney. For over 4 decades, our law firm has remained steadfast in our commitment to serving the remarkable people of New Mexico that have been injured through no fault of their own. I'm a New Mexican fighting for New Mexicans. I received my bachelor's degree at NMSU and earned my law degree at UNM. I can proudly say I'm both an Aggie and a Lobo. Call now and I will meet with you. 40 years strong, and we're still as local as red and green.
I might not be in the cage as much anymore. Just like riding a bicycle, I can pick up the fight from where I left off. I'm not some slick-haired outsider posing with borrowed gloves. I grew up here. New Mexico is in my blood. I'm a New Mexican fighting for other New Mexicans. I'm Adam Oakey. I'll be your champion in the courtroom.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Sweet